Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas on Ice Hockey Live.
Yes, it's a real festive feel to Ice Hockey Live this evening, and they don't take too much encouragement here in the northeast to get in the Christmas spirit. But will they get the Christmas present that they so badly want? It's the Newcastle Riverkings against the Cardiff Devils, live for you from the Telewest Arena. Newcastle struggling for consistency in the league, but they do have a good home record, and they've beaten Manchester this season. Cardiff, well, they're on a winning streak. Their latest victory came against last year's Grand Slammers, the Ayr Scottish Eagles, on Saturday night. And the Ayr captain, Angelo Catanaro, is our special guest tonight. Angelo, how Yes, it's a real festive feel to Ice Hockey Live this evening, and they don't take too much encouragement here in the northeast to get in the Christmas spirit. But will they get the Christmas present that they so badly want? It's the Newcastle Riverkings against the Cardiff Devils, live for you from the Telewest Arena. Newcastle struggling for consistency in the league, but they do have a good home record, and they've beaten Manchester this season. Cardiff, well, they're on a winning streak. Their latest victory came against last year's Grand Slammers, the Ayr Scottish Eagles, on Saturday night. And the Ayr captain, Angelo Catanaro, is our special guest tonight. Angelo, how impressed were you by what you saw on Saturday?
Had some quite a bit of power up front. I think that's probably a major concern when you play them.
Well, a victory for Cardiff tonight would see them within a point of the leaders Manchester. They're in second place there in the Super League table. And Newcastle, really, well, they've got their sights set on Ayr, Bracknell and Sheffield above them. Newcastle, Angelo, have spent, like Ayr, a lot of time this season on the road. What sort of problems does that bring for you?
Well, I mean, it gets a little tiresome if you're always playing on the road. Obviously, you know, you're not at home, you're not sleeping in your own bed. It's a bit tougher, but it's something that you have to overcome because, well, obviously, you know, half the games are on the road, so you have to try and. I think if you try and play 500 on the road, that'll make for a successful season because when you're at home, it's like I say, you're a little more relaxed. You have your fans to play in front of. It's just a better preparation for that. So it's a bit tougher. We've been on the road quite a bit the past month. I don't know if we've played a game, like I said, since November at home. It's a bit tougher, but it's something that you have to do.
And they do have a couple of players in the shape of Eric Royal and Kevin Conway who are clearly quality. Yeah,
no, like I said from the beginning, I think Newcastle is going to be a pretty good team. A lot of people are saying, you know, low budget and whatnot and everything else, but I think they come to play every night, at least against us. You know, they come to play, and you have to play them with respect, without a doubt. And I think it's just a matter of time before they start moving up the table.
Right, let's catch up on some team news now. Nick Rothwell is ringside for us. Nick.
Dominic, Newcastle, they've had a bit of a layoff. One game in 15 days. Now that's great for resting injuries, bad for losing the edge, and they did that against Sheffield. Bad loss. Now, they've got guys in their lineup, veterans, widely veterans, like Hilton Ruggles and Kevin Conway. Kevin Conway's 2 goals off scoring his 50th league goal. They're always dangerous, keep your eye on them. Cardiff, on the other hand, they're hot. And they're busy. They've got 4 games in the next 10 days. They're going to be busy, but they're doing well, even without Nicky Chin, who's out to suspension. Jason Stone with that bad ankle break. They got a new guy in the lineup, Derry Manard. Report is he's a solid stay-at-home defenseman. I'll tell you what, Dominic, it's a bit chilly up here in the Northeast. I'm sure these two teams are going to heat things up.
Thank you, Nick. We certainly hope so. Angelo, you played against, obviously, and you faced Derry Menard on Saturday as another defenseman. What did you make of the impact that he could have on this Cardiff side in the league?
Well, I think he's, looking at him from first glance, he's pretty mobile defenseman that moves the puck pretty well. So, you know, without a doubt, I think he'll help out on the blue line.
Very briefly, who's it going to be tonight for you?
Oh, I don't like doing that.
Come on.
Well, if you look at the table, you'd have to pick Cardiff, you know.
Okay.
Maybe for a Christmas surprise, Newcastle will come up on top, but I'd have to go with Cardiff right now.
Okay, thanks for coming off the fence. Let's get straight to the commentary box.
I'm sure these two teams are going to heat things up.
Thank you, Nick. We certainly hope so. Angelo, you played against, obviously, and you faced Derry Menard on Saturday as another defenseman. What did you make of the impact that he could have on this Cardiff side in the league?
Well, I think he's, looking at him from first glance, he's pretty mobile defenseman that moves the puck pretty well. So, you know, without a doubt, I think he'll help out on the blue line.
Very briefly, who's it going to be tonight for you?
Oh, I don't like doing that.
Come on.
Well, if you look at the table, you'd have to pick Cardiff, you know.
Okay.
Maybe for a Christmas surprise, Newcastle will come up on top, but I'd have to go with Cardiff right now.
Okay, thanks for coming off the fence. Let's get straight to the commentary box to Bob Carroll and Steve James, as usual.
Well, two teams at different end of the tables leading the points for different reasons, but the only previous meeting here this season saw a win for Newcastle, and the Riverkings have managed something the Devils haven't in regulation this year, a win over table toppers Manchester Storm. Angelo Catanaro's the only team that have done that. Newcastle start with Wayne Cowley in net, McCausland, Matheson, very much the first line with Knox, top scorer Conway and Mulvena. Hilowski plays for the first game in 4 for Cardiff, who've tended to start with Steve Moria's line, but tonight will face off with Sacratini between Thornton and the all-time Super League leading scorer over Cardiff earlier this season, but having lost a couple of games since then as well, one in the Benson Hedges and one in the league down in Cardiff. And it's Newcastle who could put the first pressure on here, except they can't because there's an offside call. And the Newcastle side for tonight's game is at full strength. They have 6 defensemen, 10 forwards. As well as a British netminder, they got 2 Brits on D, Dixon and Stephen Cooper, a former Devil. Forward Hilton Ruggles also had a successful spell at Cardiff. The Johnson brothers are 2 more local-born players this season, but having lost a couple of games since then as well, one in the Benson Hedges and one in the league down in Cardiff. And it's Newcastle who could put the first pressure on here, except they can't because there's an offside call. And the Newcastle side for tonight's game is at full strength. They have 6 defensemen, 10 forwards. As well as a British netminder, they got 2 Brits on D, Dixon and Stephen Cooper, a former Devil. Forward Hilton Ruggles also had a successful spell at Cardiff. The Johnson brothers are 2 more local-born players, and Kevin Conway, the second highest all-time ISL scorer. He goes in for the face-off with Sacratini and wins it back to Matheson. He goes in for the face-off with Sacratini and wins it back to Matheson. This is Knox. He's been playing well of late. Matheson. Knox in there once again, but it's Kip Noble who eventually comes away with the puck for the Cardiff Devils, who will break out quickly here. Chasing it down behind that net for Tulik, but Cowley gets there first. Noble will turn it back in as the Cardiff Devil forecheck, keeping the puck inside that Newcastle zone. Should come out now to centre ice. This is Conway looking for Knox. And we'll go for our first line changes of the evening, and in fact there's plenty of time to do that because there's an icing call. We'll go back down to the other end. That's Kip Noble, starting with the Cardiff Devils side, who are missing long-term absentee Jason Stone and Nicky Chin, serving the second of a 2-match ban. Mike McWilliam, though, returned from suspension. Number 39 there, Derry Menard, their new defenseman, playing his second game. Look out for the line of McIntyre, Simeone and Moria. They're in great form, and they're the line that have come out now for this second shift for the Cardiff Devils. Paul Heavey sending them out for that.
Well, Paul Heavey is a coach, Steve. He's one of the guys in the league that likes to switch his lines around a little bit. He likes his players to get hot, I should say, as a combination, and once they do that, he lets them get rewarded for that effort.
You don't get much hotter than Mario Simeone and Steve Moria, and even Ian McIntyre's in great form at the moment. This is McIntyre. Mario Simeone moving forward as well with him. No offside called. McIntyre, Moria has moved into the slot. Lindman gets it down to Simeone, who turns it back to McIntyre in the circle. Moria, first goal of the game! I told you they were hot. My goodness, they almost burn. 1-0 Cardiff Devils.
Cardiff Devils to get on the right track at the start of this game. Again, as you say, Steve, it's this hot line. Good effort here by McIntyre to see Steve Moria alone in front of the net. The commitment has to be made here by Mike Shewan. And of course, Cowley goes down, as you can see. Moria's got nowhere to go but upstairs.
Steve Moria has now scored 11 points in just over 8 games. He had 3+7 coming into this game. He's got himself another one. He's been around this British game for years and years now. 4th season back in Cardiff, having spent time here previously. He started off way back in 1988 with 5 in this country. This is Priest and McEwen at the moment out there. Derry Menard, the new guy, is out there too. Mike McWilliam, Newcastle at the moment with Ruggles, Bondarchuk and Johnson out there. They're having to do some defensive work. Ruggles is supporting his netminder just in front of his crease, and Cowley covers up.
Well, Wayne Cowley of the Newcastle Riverkings having to be sharp on that play. The puck again generating from behind the net, and that is a difficult status for these goalkeepers. He's got a bit of a shutout record there. That's good to see, because Wayne's been around the British game a number of years now. Spent a year in Germany, Steve, but since coming back has been very much a steady netminder.
Well, it was amazing to think that until the start of this month, Wayne Cowley had never had a shutout in Super League, but that victory over the London Knights by 5-0. The Newcastle Riverkings only win in the last 5 games. That was his shutout. Stephen Foster started very much the #1 netminder, I think, this year, but has hit a not quite such strong patch of late. Cowley is really the first choice at the moment for Anstonia. This is Priest getting it out in front, but it's picked up by Shewan. This is Ruggles, former Devil, Anthony Johnson. Clattered into the boards. And the Cardiff Devils will come forward. This is Thornton. Thornton just leaves it there for William. And Sacratini. There's Cowley again making the save.
Wayne Cowley again, they're hanging on to that puck. You know, these Cardiff Devils, as you said, Steve, have been on fire as of late, so he's going to make sure when that puck comes anywhere near him, as long as there isn't a free play to one of his players, he's going to hang on to that puck. He'll take his chances on the face-off.
Well, the Devils with such a fantastic start, it's great to score first or second shift, and that puts Newcastle really up against it already in this game, having not played for some while and taking a little time maybe to find their game legs once again. They'll come into it, don't worry, games between these two sides have been close over the years, but especially in the last couple of years of this season so far. Even the Super League victory for Cardiff down in Cardiff was really very close, just one goal in it, although there was a late empty net goal.
Paul Heavey, he's always got that notepad with him, looking around, jotting points down. He's very vocal with his players. He's speaking to guys. I noticed it before the start of the game. He talks to almost every player to find out what's on their mind before the game starts.
Well, I hope Alex Dampy hasn't seen that stat, because that's a bit disheartening for him. Records, though, they say, are there to be broken. Newcastle forced, though, out of the Cardiff zone. Get the puck back in there. It's going to be no problem for Noble to pick it up, though. Good work by Knox, though. Catches Noble. And the right pass as well, but nobody there to take advantage. As William comes bursting forward, back from his suspension, gets that in front. So close, Thornton just loses an edge there.
Well, that's the ideal play to make there if you're Ivan Matulik. He's got to go wide, and there's got to be guys in the slot area along with another one driving for the net. And you saw that's what Stevie Thornton was doing. Great pass.
Cardiff working well, working hard to keep that puck and get it back towards Cowley. To Sacratini again. Pick up, and now maybe an opportunity for Newcastle to get forward. Almost a 2-on-1, but the Devils getting back quickly. Still Newcastle, though, coming forward, with Blake Knox trying to find a way through. Just closed down.
You know, there was a great defensive effort there by Ivan Matulik. Kip Noble went up on that play. That's dangerous only if nobody comes back to help him out and take his position. That's what Ivan Matulik did on that play. Cover up on the defense, pick your man up.
Coming forward again, the Newcastle Riverkings, they've picked it up in the last couple of shifts. Rob Trumley going in there trying to make the hit against Eckroth. They get it back in. They get it back in for Black. Rob Trumley really let that one go, but just missed his man. There's the shot, saved by Herlovsky.
Well, Derek Herlovsky has to come up sharp on that play. But what a huge hit there by Rob Tremblay. I think it's the first ice time we've seen of him tonight. Black back to the point. Shooting with a good shot. Again, gang, let's keep that puck low on the ice there, because you see Rob Tremblay's looking around for any sort of rebound. And you can bet your business if he sees one.
Pre-Christmas crowd coming into the arena in Newcastle tonight for this game and hoping to see their side come up with something to add to the Christmas festive cheer. McCausland with a big effort, just turned away with a blocker into the corner by the netminder. Priest turns it forward. Newcastle quickly turning it back though. They've had quite a few results that haven't... as McCausland goes through, almost got it underneath Holowski. They've had a few results that haven't done them entirely complete justice, Newcastle, this year. McCausland to Ruggles. Ruggles just being tugged back there by Priest. No call from the referee though. Murray Hansen keeps his arms down. Cardiff just turning it in low, a chance for them to get their forecheckers in. It's McEwen. Cowley will come out and help it round to Johnson. This is Sean Johnson, the younger of the brothers. Ruggles does well to win it. He's into the Cardiff Devil zone, but they're under no real pressure there at the present time as Newcastle went for a line change.
Often if you're doing your homework, Steve, though, that is an opportunity, especially with that big long pass you can make now with the center ice, the red line removed. If you can catch these guys on a change, boy, you can really cause some damage. You've got to be looking all the time. Good job for a goaltender there to give that highlight. That way you can make that long pass.
This is Knox looking to find Mulvenna on the other side. Instead, Cardiff come forward with Matulek. There's Conway. Matulek and Conway, that's a battle because they're the two all-time leading Super League goal scorers. Cardiff coming forward now with Brent Pope. Just lets Matulek have it, but there's a penalty here, delayed penalty, so Cardiff can keep the puck. The penalty against Jago won't be called until the Newcastle Riverkings touch the puck. Well, there they do, they get the puck. That's Conway. It's a slashing call against Dale Jago, so Cardiff Devils will go on the power play.
Well, Cardiff going on the offense with Brent Pope here. And there's the smack, you just saw it by Dale Jago. And of course, Moore Hansen picking up on that right off the bat. Cardiff Devils will now go into power play, Steve. It'll be interesting to see how they can try and captivate.
Well, the Cardiff Devils have, this Alex Dampage at the moment telling him what he wants his players to do for the penalty kill here. But the Cardiff Devils have a dreadful power play really this season, only 9.8. In fact, away from home on the road, it's only 5%, which is half that you see there for overall in the Super League this season. Just 5% on the road, although in 12 power play advantages against Newcastle this year, they have scored 3 times, so that's 25%, which is a bit more respectable.
You know, and you have to question that statistic because when you think about it, all right, they're pushing Manchester for the lead in a Super League this season, yet their power play isn't actively working that well. It's an indication of how well they're playing when they're playing 5-on-5.
It should be said as well that the Newcastle Riverkings penalty killing this year is the worst in Super League. They're bottom by some way in that. 74% their penalty killing this year. So far, the Cardiff Devils, with almost a minute gone on this power play, are not doing anything to suggest that they're going to radically transform their power play statistic tonight. This is Thornton, though, making ground, gets the shot away, Cowley makes the save.
Well, Stevie Thornton there going in on the off angle, really doesn't have a lot of option here. He's a good heads-up player, and he will look for those options. You see a bit of a knuckleball shot, as I call it, the puck flipping. But Wayne Cowley and the Nets having no problem with that. He saw it all away.
Stevie Thornton, 18th in the Super League's all-time point-scoring list. He's got 12 points so far this season, 3 goals, 9 assists.
Yeah, recently acknowledged as being able to get opportunity with a Great Britain team. That'll certainly help their lineup.
It's a good shot. Cowley didn't quite hold it. Cardiff Devils still up. Couldn't take it. They still, though, have the puck. They're on the power play, don't forget. Cowley coming out very aggressive net minding there. They pick it up again, though. Sacratini for the Cardiff Devils. Gets it back to Noble on the blue line. He gets it in front. Evans couldn't get the touch. This is Thornton again. 30 seconds just under left on the power play as Mike Sherm brings it forward for Newcastle Riverkings. He's happy just to turn it in behind Derek Olowski. A few more seconds will tick by on this first power play of the evening. Almost halfway through the first period. 1 goal so far for the Cardiff Devils. McEwen chasing it into the corner. McEwen chasing it into the corner with Messenson. Ravenna didn't clear it. Evans. Second save as well by Cowley. Reacted quickly their second time around, having let the first one go.
Well, Wayne Cowley's starting off very, very hot in this game, and he's come up with some huge saves. The Devils moving the puck around in the zone a little bit. Again, though, not getting players driving to that net so quickly. In combination with that shot coming from the point, you got to have guys there right away. Cowley coming up with that save off a rebound.
With no Nicky Chid in the lineup for the Cardiff Devils. Doug McEwen getting a bit more ice time than he's had of late. He's playing at the moment with Priest and McWilliam. Lots of people have been surprised as the Cardiff Devils get it in towards McEwen again, that Doug McEwen has had so little ice time this year, in fact. But Priest loses out. Bodnarchuk. Cross-eyes pass in front of his own net. It's Pope struggling with Ruggles. No one's going to win out on that one. Eventually picked up by Johnson. And Murray Hansen has got his arm up. A penalty coming up for the Newcastle Riverkings, and the Offers might score here too. So close. There's the touch from Priest, and there it's going to be a holding call, holding the stick by Brent Pope. So Brent Pope is going to go and sit down, and we're going to have the first power play for the Newcastle Riverkings of the night.
Especially as he's a defenseman. There you see Brent Pope. He's standing up Hilton Ruggles, a guy that's a bit of a prolific goal scorer. Get the holding the stick call here, but sometimes you've got to do that, and especially against a guy like Hilton Ruggles in the offensive zone. It's a bit of a gamble shot. You take the chance on it, hang on to the stick, and hope that the referee doesn't see it.
Royal going in with Moria and winning it too on the power play. The shot comes in as well from Stephen Cooper. Power play performance for the Newcastle Riverkings this year, 15.1%. And their record this year against the Cardiff Devils, 1 on 10 opportunities, a 10% record. Royal turns it around. Eckroth is there, but he's quickly dispossessed, has to try and win it back. Comes at the end to Cooper, keeps it in. McCausland back in low into that corner, out to the point again. McCausland with a shot, Trumpley trying the deflection. Trumpley's lost his glove, now he picks it up as the puck goes back down to the other end. The Cardiff Devils happy to send it down to the other end of the ice. Both sides will make a line change as Cooper just passes it. And this is Mulvena, who's out there now with Conway and with Knox. This is the first line for Newcastle, back out there looking for goals, looking for an equalising goal. Thornton almost let it go there, but the Devils, the leading side on short-handed goals in the league, they come forward here. This is Lindman. Lindman still going, and still going. Eventually, he loses out. Jago.
That's certainly a player, Steve, to watch out for as this league goes on, is that Martin Lindman. That guy, he can skate. He's got all the natural capabilities, and you can see how he can move forward there. He's just like a Kip Noble. He's got a lot of natural talent.
Martin Lindman has 1 short-handed goal this season. The Devils have 5. The other 4 have all gone to Matulik as the shot comes in again. Halowski getting it a second time. Then it was Evans having to make the clearance on his own lot of position. Still though, this is Newcastle with Jago back into Conway. Somebody right out in front too, that was Mulvena, but it didn't get to him. That's Lindman. And this is Matulik with 4 short-handed goal in Super League. This time though he just clears the puck as the power play comes to an end, and it stays Newcastle 0, Cardiff 1.
Interesting to note, though, that the Newcastle Riverkings are starting to come alive a little bit. They're much more physical out there.
Here's Ruggles trying to get underneath and scores! The former Devil gets the equaliser against his old club. It took him 2 goes, but Hilton Ruggles makes it 1-1.
Sometimes I think Hilton Ruggles is maybe a little bit of a sleeper. You don't notice him out there until you look around to see who's in front of the net with a puck. This is a bit of a pinball play, but Ruggles ends up getting a puck, getting a shot on goal, And of course, look at this, picks up his own rebound, and he stuffs that underneath the sprawling Derek Orlovsky.
Hilton Ruggles, only his 4th goal of the season. He's scored plenty of goals in his time. These days, they're not quite so often. He's scored lots of goals that maybe aren't the goals that you'd put in an all-time compilation of great super goals. He tends not to score from skating right the way down the ice and beating 5 to 10 men or whatever, but you know, he gets a lot of rebounds and so on. That one he made very much himself, a good goal and an important one for Newcastle.
There's Hilton Ruggles. You know, you remember Brent Pope just recently took a penalty for holding the stick on this guy. Well, that's one of the reasons why. You can see that he gets in front of that net, he's moving around and swirling all the time. He's very, very difficult to tie up, and that's what makes him such a good goal scorer. It's a natural thing to him, and that's something that complements this Newcastle, side.
12 minutes gone and it's all square, despite the fact that the Devils had such a great start, scoring on their 2nd shift of the game. The Newcastle Riverkings have got themselves back into it here. That's Doug McEwen. And there's Wayne Cowley. Doug McEwen, who recently had a testimonial after 10 years of service with the Cardiff Devils. I think he's still counting the money, but I'm sure he's done very well for himself because he's a very popular guy in Cardiff and around the British ice hockey scene.
He has, you know, he's the Iron Man of the game. And you know, you can see that, has not missed a single game in 13 seasons. I'll tell you, you got to compliment a guy like that. What was the name of it in that testimonial? It was an interesting name, the Running Bears or something like that.
Doug McEwen's Running Bears, some great old names from the Cardiff Devils history played in that game against the current squad. Pressure around that net at the moment. Wayne Cowley just looking, wondering where it's going to come from. This is Frank Evans going behind. Skating all the way round as well, into the slot, gets the backhanded flip forward, but now it's back with McWilliam. He'll try the slap shot. Now here's Ruggles. Ruggles being held up by Evans there. The linesman get the flag down. Good pass to Bodarchuk. One-on-one. Bodarchuk against Orlovsky, and the netminder comes up on top in that one.
Well, the Cardiff Devils got caught here watching the puck, and they put defense and caution to the wind. Lost it in the neutral zone. Great transition pass here. Bodarchuk allowed to go in alone on Orlovsky. But he does a great job here because I want to watch and show you a good goaltending. Look at him back into the net and compliment the shooter. The shooter makes the first move. He makes the save.
Derek Orlovsky, important save that in his first game back after 3 games when Stevie Lyle was in nets for the Cardiff Devils. 3 winning games as well. In fact, the Cardiff Devils have won the last 4. The last game that Orlovsky played was a shutout for him against London. Nothing. One penalty to each side so far, 1 minor. We've had 1 power play each. No goals on the power plays, but 1 goal each of the game, and Orlovsky's given it away here. Gets back quickly. Tremblay tries to find the short side. McIntyre getting it out in front, ready to Jago. Now the Devils can come forward. Simeone needs some support. Just plays it back into his own zone. And the Cardiff Devils can't find a way out at the moment, and they're almost making mistakes there.
Well, very little or no forecheck by the Newcastle Riverkings. You know, they're allowing the Devils to come out of their zone, but sometimes that can be a false sense of security because you get your forwards up a bit too high.
And eventually they do get out, but they give the puck straight away. Untidy stuff at the moment from the 2 teams. And the call there, offside. We've got just over 6 minutes to go. 1-1, let's go down ringside and join Nick Rothwell.
Well, guys, we talked about Newcastle only playing the 1 game in the 15 days and being a bit flat-footed, and that's what happened on this goal. Let's have a look at it. Let's roll from here. We're going to roll from here. The puck's going to go into Newcastle's zone from the corner now. Now, let's just stop here. Let's just stop. This is Moria right here. Now, let's keep our eye on him. Let's roll. Let's roll from here. That's Moria. We got to keep an eye on him. He just gets left alone right there. Cooper has to go commit. Moria all alone, and I'll tell you what, I'd bet my house on the fact that Moria is scoring when he's in front of the net by himself.
Well, I certainly felt that there was an interesting point as well there. There was a 2-on-2 just inside the blue line there, which the Newcastle Riverkings lost. If they would have won that, it could have been an all sort of different story. It broke down, and nobody was alone to try and combine with Steve Moria in front of the net.
Paul Heavey, the coach, former captain of the Cardiff Devils, and he was the man that led the Cardiff Devils to the first ever Super League trophy in their first season 2 years back. Ayr took it away from them last year, and the Cardiff Devils chasing Manchester Storm at the moment to try and get it back. Manchester lead the table, and the Devils will be 1 point behind if they win this game tonight.
Here's an interesting comment. I don't know if you saw this on your screen just most recently, but look at Kevin Conway. Kevin Conway, he changes his glove status there because he knows where he wants that puck to go on that face-off.
Noble getting the shot in, hitting Sancretini. Matheson holding up Thornton. Comes out to Sancretini, but there's Conway sticking with his man, centre and centre, marking each other. Volvena to it first for the Newcastle Riverkings. Pope will chase it, touch it, and that's going to be the icing. We'll go back to the other end. The goal scored by Newcastle, the equalising goal scored by Hilton Ruggles. And Hilton Ruggles, in fact, that was his 50th goal in all Super League competitions. So congratulations to Hilton Ruggles, 97 points now in all Super League competitions, having played with Manchester before coming here and Cardiff, but also Murrayfield, Solihull, Whitley down the years.
Well, he's certainly in a very classy group of players there in terms of scoring 50 goals in Super League competition, and we all know that he can certainly put the puck in the net.
There's Ruggles again with the pass from Bondarchuk. He now picks out Johnson. Good passing there from Newcastle. Now they're getting stuck in as well. The puck, though, is not going to move from there. 2 goals in the game so far. These are the goals. The first one came very early in the game. From the second shift, in fact, Steve Moria, the scorer. 1-0 Cardiff Devils. And the second one scored by Hilton Ruggles. Second attempt, 1-1. 1-1.
There's Hilton Ruggles. I'll tell you another thing, Steve, about Hilton. If you've ever seen his stick, you should have a look at this guy's blade on his stick. It's a great big long thing, and I'll tell you what, he uses that full to his advantage. Look at it, it's just like a boomerang. And the thing about it is I'm a personal believer that the more blade you got on the ice, the more opportunity you've got to control that puck. That's just a personal preference.
When they're called for illegal equipment, that's because of the curve on the blade. It can be as big as you like, can it?
Well, I think so in terms of length. I know that there is some, there is many obligations that have to be met there, but in terms of curvature, that's where the coaches certainly like to look to make the call.
This is Newcastle coming forward. Bondarchuk, as he turned, he just lost the puck slightly from off the end of his blade. Turned back in again, though. The Newcastle Riverkings may be at the other end of the Super League table to the Cardiff Devils, but they're making a real tough game of this one.
Well, about 7 or 8 minutes ago in the start of this first period, we saw the Newcastle Riverkings come alive a little bit. They're starting to play much more physical, and that's what making them contribute to this game. The Devils are in for a hard ride here tonight if they continue to play this way.
Tremblay
in for a hard ride here tonight if they continue to play this way.
Tremblay tried to go around Lindman, who read that one perfectly, the Cardiff defenseman. And it's his performances, as well as Moria, Simeone and McIntyre, that have made this second line so good for the Cardiff Devils in recent games. Offside.
Well, Steve Moria there coming through the neutral ice zone, and he made a move, and that's what put Mario Simeone offside on that play.
Well, Steve Moria is over here in '88 to play for Fife, and this is his second spell with the Cardiff Devils. And Steve Moria scored 3 goals and 7 assists in the 8 games before this one, and the first goal of the evening as well for the Cardiff Devils tonight.
Well, Mo is just like a fine whiskey, in my opinion. He gets better with age, and the guy always plays. He's always there offensively for his team. Looks like a bit of a problem in terms of ice surface there. Let's have a look at face-offs.
Very
11.
close.
Yes,
very
sir.
close. Newcastle just slightly ahead of Cardiff on that one.
Putting a little snow down, perhaps a little bit of water. There's the water, it goes down, they got down, perhaps a little bit of water. There's the water, it goes down, they got to make it freeze again. That's just to smooth it out there. Somebody's toe, their blade or something got in. You know, interestingly enough on face-offs, only but here in the Newcastle Telewest Arena does Andy French, the manager of the Cardiff Devils, go way up top and watch the game. One of the things that he always looks for is where the play's happening, face-offs, things like this. He relays that back to Paul Heavey. They discuss things between periods.
Newcastle under pressure here, This is Moria. Not finding a way through there. Just cycles it back into that corner for Simeone. Holding off one hand, using the stick with the other hand to control the puck. Now McIntyre, he's a strong player too. Eric Royal holds him up and takes him down. Moria though is there just to pick it up. A spare stick's been taken off the ice there. Simeone. Good work there by Newcastle. They get it away and now they can break quickly. The Devils though do have 3 men back to cover.
When you've got a player in your lineup that's hot like Simeone, you can see how he hovers around that slot area. These other 2 players are trying to complement him. They're the guy, he's the guy, I should say, that they want to try and get the puck to because they know that his stick is hot at the moment.
Kim Noble getting the puck forward, gives it away though. McCostin, that's a good pass as well because it sets blocks for the shot. Polosky came out of his net to close down the angle, made the save. Well, Matulik just took a tumble there as he got the puck, otherwise that could have been dangerous. Now it's Knox's chance too, he has Mulvena with him. And here comes Conway, oh, he hit the post. Great effort by Conway, there was a gap there, he aimed for it and was just off target.
Well, a bit of problem in terms of defensive coverage, picking your wide man up there. Wingers, that's your job. And it's something that there was a problem in communication with in terms of the Cardiff Devils. You're seeing Newcastle Riverkings going in alone there. Conway, of course, being the trailer on that last particular play.
And here they come forward again. Bogachuk this time with the effort. Grimm's right around the boards. They'll have to clear the zone, Newcastle, before they can get it back in. Just about did that, so Ruggles can chase it in. Harlovsky gets caught, wanting to get back into his net quickly, and they're saying that he delayed the game. That's what Ruggles is saying right now to the referee, Murray Hansen, that there should be a penalty against the netminder out of his crease for delaying the game, but Murray Hansen doesn't want to know. He's saying it's just a face-off.
The puck behind the net there, and Harlovsky hanging on to it. There you can see he's got 2 options here. He elects to go the other way. He obviously saw Bodnarchuk, who's away from our far end of the screen. If he'd have passed it that way, he would have had an open net.
Hansen, he was one for many, many years, of course. Murray Hansen with Murrayfield. And he's now been refereeing, well, officiating for the last 3 years. And he's just got his international licence as well, so congratulations to him. In fact, the 2 linesmen, Norrie Grieve and Paul Staniforth, have international licences as well. And in fact, one of them, Norrie Grieve, is going off to the World Junior Championships shortly. Evans, almost inside the last minute of the first period. A minor penalty to each side. They've been even on face-offs and they've been even on goals as well. A minor penalty to each side. They've been even on face-offs and they've been even on goals as well. 1 apiece. Harlovsky coming out again. If he got caught there too by Ruggles, he would have been in trouble. He's a hustler as Hilton Ruggles. Sean Johnson turning it back in. And there's Ruggles on the forecheck once again. Working hard in the dying seconds now of the first period. Puck over the plexiglass. 39 seconds remaining. Newcastle 1, Cardiff 1.
Frankie Evans, and he's been on fire so far this season himself. I'll tell you, he's been very physical out there, and you got to say this guy is very much contributed to the success of the Devils so far this season.
From Red Deer, Alberta, you'd think you'd have some Welsh ancestry with a name like Frank Evans, but Frank Evans, very much a part of the Cardiff Devils. These days he's in his 4th season with the club. Hasn't scored yet this year though. He's got 4 assists but no goals.
You often see him though, he almost hides himself out there, but you'll see him make that transition. He doesn't do it as often as Noble and Lindman, but he certainly likes to move
that corner. Moria not able to keep it in there, so it's Royal going forward now, and still going. Just drops it for Tremblay. Tremblay shot came off Lindman. Newcastle Riverkings a chance to score here, a real one, because Orlovsky's down and spread eagle. The Devils had enough men back there to cover. Haven't cleared their zone. That's the end though of the first period. No more action to come in the first 20 minutes. Alex Dampier will be glad that his side have got the equalising goal after going behind very early to Paul Heavy's side. So it's 1-1 at the end of the first period. Goals by Ruggles and Moria. Will look back with Angelo Catanaro at that first period, straight after the break. Ruggles and Moria will look back with Angelo Catanaro at that first period, straight after the break.
Hi, I'm Kerry Biet with the Ayr Scottish Eagles. I'd just like to thank the fans for coming out and wish everybody in Ayr and across the UK a Merry Christmas.
This is Doug McEwen.
And this is Kip Noble.
We play for the Cardiff Devils. We'd like to wish everyone out there a very Merry Christmas
and a Happy New Year.
My name's Greg Haddon. I'd like to wish all the Nottingham Panthers supporters a Merry Christmas, and all the fans that watch the Super League have a Merry Christmas and a great New Year.
Talker AM, 10 o'clock. That's on Sky Sports 1, a Christmas special from them. That's followed at 12 noon by Sky Sports Top 20, a look back at the 20 greatest sporting moments from the last 7 years here on Sky Sports. Fishing at 3:30, the 1998 Marlin World Cup. And at 11:30 on Sky Sports 2, it's the 4th Test match, day 1 of the Ashes match between Australia and England. Here at the Telewest Arena, we are, of course, watching Newcastle against Cardiff. Quite a nice first period, 1 apiece. And look at that, Newcastle lying 7th in the table, out shooting Cardiff 2nd in the table at 12-9. Penalty minutes shooting Cardiff 2nd in the table at 12-9. Penalty minutes served in that first period by Dale Jago and Brent Pope. And Angelo Catanaro is our special guest, of course, tonight. Angelo, what did you make of that first period? You perhaps wouldn't have known which was the side lying 2nd and which was the side lying 7th in the end?
No, I think Newcastle, after a slow start, obviously the goal went in pretty early for Cardiff, but from that point on, I think they've outchanced Cardiff up to now, so they come out pretty hard.
Ideal start for Cardiff. They got the early goal, and it was that line that you'd been talking about.
Well, like I said, I saw the line a few nights earlier, and well, here's the goal here. Little form here. There's Simeone out to McIntyre. I think he goes right across the crease to Moira, and that's top shelf. I mean, that's a great shot. That's probably unstoppable.
Do you think that was just Newcastle caught a little off guard?
Well, it could be. It was early in the game. Maybe it's just a couple great passes there. I mean, Mario didn't even look right behind. He knew where McIntyre was. 3 great passes and a great goal.
Were you impressed by the way that Newcastle responded to that?
Very impressed. Like they didn't sit back at all, and I think they got a goal pretty early right after that. So they're playing very smart hockey, though. I think they're playing a 1-2-2 and waiting for their chances on a counterattack, and so far I think it's working.
Well, Cardiff will certainly have to thank Derek Herlofsky, because he made a couple of great saves, didn't he, there?
Yeah, I think they were pressuring right here. This play, I think there's a delayed penalty here. Goes off to the side, and you'll just see, I don't know who it is, Royal go across. Another guys, they're driving to the net, and when you do that, things happen. Here's another chance again. I think this is the power play. Again, just get it to the net. There are people in front of the net trying to bang the puck home, and I think when you're having trouble scoring, whatever, that's the way to do it. You just get it to the net and see what happens, and 2 very good examples of that.
They kept the pressure up, and eventually it paid off.
He's been around the league for a long time. Hilton and I played with him years ago in Italy, and I think Kip Noble got caught here a bit. Just the puck took a funny bounce, and he was going one way, sort of unfortunate. Hilton got the puck on his stick, and again, he drove to the net. Here it is again. I think it bounces off something. Yeah, right there. Again, he goes outside, froze the defenseman for a bit. Again, he's driving to the net, and he scores actually on his rebound, just for falling through. So a good goal.
So it's 1-1. Alex Dampier, I'm sure, will be happy with that. Now we turn our attention to things off the ice, because Nick Rothwell's been out and about with some of the Newcastle players as they prepare for Christmas. Prepare for Christmas.
It's getting chilly outside.
Well, there's only a few hours of Christmas shopping to go, and we're at the Metro Centre up in Newcastle with Eric Royal and Darren McCausland and a couple of Geordie lads, Sean Johnson and Paul Dixon. And we are all going to catch up on some last-minute shopping.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout, 'cause I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming late.
We need the proof for Paul Dixon.
That says,
and we can't tell you the story
that says
why.
0 to 5, doesn't it? A bit advanced.
There's our number one goalie, Stephen Flashback.
He's bad.
As you can see here, we've got a few Premiership teams. As you can see here, we've got a few Premiership teams with Beckham and Dennis Bergkamp here. I can't see any Sunderland footballers out there, but maybe that's just because we're in Division 1. There's no Niall Quinn here, so we'll have to get into Toys R Us and see if we can get one of those.
You're not a Sunderland supporter.
Oh yes, certainly am.
Since when?
Oh, all my life. I was born there and I'll stay with that club.
Well, boys, the Christmas shopping almost done, Sean?
Yeah, I've just about got all the presents sorted for the family, the girlfriend, the in-laws, so I had a good day. It's been good.
What'd you get your brothers?
I'll tell you later when the camera turns off.
You should be watching Jerry Springer.
How come? Which TV? Which TV you're on?
This one's on behind you.
It's this one here.
We're having a good year. There's a good group of guys together in the changing room and everything, and everything's going all right up to now. Having a good year. There's a good group of guys together in the changing room and everything, and everything's going all right up to now, you know.
You're under new ownership and new management. Are things a little bit more settled within the Newcastle organization?
I think they are. I mean, in the summer nobody knew what was going on as far as the ice hockey was concerned, and it was nice to get somebody in there with Alex and Mike who knew what they were doing, and you know they have a lot of history in the British game, and it was just nice to get us back there.
It's been it must be hard, like getting in a whole bunch of new guys and stuff like that. But you guys have the most British, at least British accents on your team than any other team.
That's right. It's always a nice thing, you know. Try and keep it as British as you can, but unfortunately it hasn't gone that way. But it's nice to see that we have a lot of British players in our team.
And you even have some Americans as well with Eric next to you. Eric, you fitting in okay?
Yeah, I'm doing quite well. These guys are a pretty good group of guys. I'm doing quite well. These guys are a pretty good group of guys. You know, we like to give them a bit of a hard time and all, but all in all, like you said, we have a good group of guys here.
We're looking to build really just to start winning games. Recently we've had a lot of our games have been on the road, so we've got quite a few home games coming up now, and look to climb up the table and hopefully just go for the playoff championships.
Well, boys, I hope you got all your Christmas shopping done, and you know what? I can't wait to wake up Christmas morning and see what you got me.
Well, the Newcastle players are doing a bit of Christmas shopping, but on a more serious note, really trying to get something going here at Newcastle.
I'm here with Mike, the general manager of the Newcastle Riverkings. Mike, it's been a busy summer for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, things happened pretty quick. You know, we came in post in June, and you know it's been work ever since. You know, but I think Alex has done a great job putting a good competitive team together.
And of course, you've been busy off the ice trying to get bums on seats at the Telewest Arena.
Yeah, you know, we have a lot of bridges to repair, and you know, we focus you know, a lot of our strategy around our community program. You know, we got some fantastic marketing partners. You know, we're involved in an Energize with the Riverkings program with Northern Electric, Nike, Sainsbury's program with Northern Electric, Nike, Sainsbury's, the EBP, Students into Schools. You know, it's a fantastic multi-agency schools program which promotes a healthy lifestyle. And then we have a fantastic partnership with Northumbria Police. Again, a healthy lifestyle, you know, anti-drug related message in the schools. And that flips into a streetwise program which focuses on roller hockey. You know, so our guys are very busy, and you know, they're certainly pounding the pavement and very, you know, community friendly.
And I'm sure you wouldn't mind some community friendly results on the ice pretty soon.
Well, you know, they work hard there too. You know, we don't have a team of superstars, but you know, they have a great work ethic. You know, they come to play the game every day, and you know, that's what the people in the Northeast expect. You know, it has a fantastic tradition in ice hockey, and you know we have to try and rebuild the team to those glory years.
Well, good luck, Mike. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Nick.
And it may take them some time, but they're not doing badly certainly here tonight, are they? The Newcastle Riverkings impressing in the first period against the Cardiff Devils. And the fans who've turned up here tonight to watch this pre-Christmas event certainly enjoying what they've seen so far. What are we up for in the second period? Stay with us here on Sky Sports.
Hi, I'm Sal Manganaro from the Bracknell Bees. I'd like to wish everybody in Bracknell and back home in Boston a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Hi, this is Cale Shore of the Sheffield Steelers. I'd like to wish all the Steelers fans and Sky Sports viewers a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hi, I'm Darren McCausland of the Newcastle Riverkings. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hi, my name's Mike Bishop of the Nottingham Panthers. I'd like to wish the supporters of the Ice Hockey Super League and the Nottingham Panthers a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year.
Well, if you like Christmas, you're going to love Boxing Day on Sky Sports. Look at that lineup for you. Starting at 8 o'clock in the morning on Sky Sports of South Africa against the West Indies, the third Test match. Then nationwide action on Sky Sports 2 at noon, West Brom against Port Vale. The big Premiership game is Blackburn against Aston Villa. That's Sky Sports 1 from 5:30. And then day 2 of the fourth Test between Australia and England, Sky Sports 2 from 11:30 p.m. Here at the Telewest Arena, the Newcastle Riverkings are holding the Cardiff Devils 1 apiece after the first period. Let's get straight back to the second period action to Bob Carroll and Steve James.
Good first period, and I'm sure the Newcastle Riverkings will be looking to continue with the way they played apart from the first couple of minutes, really. Alex Dampier saw his side start maybe a little flat. He looks quite happy though, doesn't he, with the way things are going so far. And having picked the game up, they got that equaliser. And it's 1-1, and Paul Heavey is the man who's got to think of ways of getting his side back in front. Do you know, in Super League, the Cardiff Devils have never lost in this arena. And Murray Hansen drops the puck, Conway and Sacratini in for it. Newcastle Riverkings win the first face-off of the second period and come forward. Newcastle backing off just a little bit on the forecheck there. Cardiff with Sacratini out there with Thornton, and this is big Ivan Matulik who turns full circle and gets it away to Simeone, who rims it around the boards looking for Thornton. Cowley there though, playing a full part in the Newcastle defence.
That's a very interesting point. You see that an awful lot now in terms of goaltenders. They get involved in the play.
Didn't see too much of that one, but it was wide anyway. Ivan Matulik has such a big shot, so powerful, and we'll tell you more about the All-Star game coming up. Matulik's got to have one of the most powerful shots around, and they're going to have some big All-Star skills contest then as well. So let's go down ringside right now as we have a break in play and join Nick Rothwell for some team news.
Steve, unfortunate news for the Newcastle Riverkings. Paul Dixon, one of their British defensemen, he's not been playing in the first period. He only took a couple of shifts because in warm-up, he took a shot and his right foot, just above his right foot there. It was an accident, but it's swollen up, it's sore. He won't be back. He's going to be sitting on the bench. Doesn't look like he's going to be playing, but he's just going to be sitting on the bench, maybe take any penalties or something like that the team might have to serve. That's all he's going to be doing, guys.
Well, we saw Paul Dixon as well at the start of the period with Alex Dampier. He didn't look as though he was too upset about things either, but he's going to have a rest, he's going to watch, and he's going to hope his side come up with the goods tonight. On this occasion, though, Tremblay defeated, Holowski taking the puck in his hands.
Well, Derek Holowski coming back off of USA duty where he was involved in a qualification competition.
And he's the second best netminder in Super League. That's official, that's according to the statistics. He's of 2.15 goals a game, and only Manchester's Frank Pietrangelo rates better than that at the present time.
You know, when you're thinking that you're allowing just 2 goals a game, or as in a case of Pietrangelos in Manchester, just under 2 goals a game, I'll tell you that's good defensive effort from all the teams in the Super League. I'll tell you, you're talking National Hockey League statistic there. Goaltenders like the Dominator, Dominic Hasek, come up with statistics like that.
Back up to the other end, the netminder breathing down Derek Holowski's neck, as it were. As far as the Super League standings are concerned, is his own backup netminder, Stevie Lyle, although Stevie Lyle, having played the last 3 games and having a Backup netminder Stevie Lyle, although Stevie Lyle, having played the last 3 games and having a 7-0 record in the Super League, Stevie Lyle is pressing a hard case for being chosen ahead of Derek Orlowski. But it's Orlowski who's got the position tonight, his first game in 4 matches, and the last time out he didn't let a single one by, his 3rd Super League shutout. That was 8-0 against the Newcastle side, against the London side rather, the London Knights. Newcastle Riverkings also recently came up against the London Knights and had a shutout for Wayne Cowley, 5-0. It's not been the best of months for the London Knights. Icing again. We're going to go back down the other end. It's Doug McKeown raced to get there but couldn't quite get there in time. In Super League this year they're using the touch icing rule, where as long as the forward can get there first and touch it, well then there won't be an icing. The defenseman actually has to touch it. Have you enjoyed that rule this year, Bob?
I think it's a good rule, Steve. It speeds the game up. I think there's a certain amount of ethic amongst the players that has to be seen out there. And that is, you know, you don't want any hitting or whatever, or checking from behind, because that can cause serious injury. I know that's been a big concern for a lot of the players as the rule establishes itself.
In that corner, the Newcastle Riverkings looking to find a way of setting up somebody out in front. This is Ruggles behind Orlowski, passing it out in front, so close Orlowski had to react very quickly there. Got down with his knees. Back down the other end, McKeown chasing again, but once again he doesn't get there first. Mike Sure gets the touch. That means we will go back for the icing call. At the other end it's going to be another face-off.
Well, Newcastle doing some good things offensively around the net there. Hilton Ruggles making a great play to get that puck out. Hilton Ruggles making a great play to get that puck out. It comes around again, and you can see him taking advantage of that boomerang stick that he uses and trying to do the wraparound.
Hilton Ruggles with his 4th goal of this Super League season tonight. And overall now he's got 30 goals in Super League, but 50 in all competitions in the Super League era, as we said. Secretini just dropped it in, looking for Matulik, but it was read well by the Newcastle defence. Conway to Mulvena, he's just held up by Pope. Offside the call there. Offside.
Well, Alex Dampier, he likes to move behind that bench there a little bit, and you know, I've known Alex for a lot of years now. He's very vocal with his players as well. But one of the things I always find interesting is the odd time you can hear a bit of a whistle going around the rink, and that's Dampier telling his guys to get off the ice because he thinks they're too tired. But what a tremendous record this guy composes since coming to Great Britain.
Well, he's hopefully turning Newcastle Riverkings around. You know, he's won 6 trophies in his time with Sheffield Steelers, Nottingham Panthers, and of course he was the GB coach, took them with Bob Correll to Pool A, the greatest moment of British ice hockey history in recent years, unless you go all the way back to the 30s. And Alex Dampier, with that record this season, the Newcastle Riverkings, in fact, as they were the Cobras last year before the change of ownership of the franchise, they found themselves bottom all the way through last season, so they are making grounds under Alex Dampier. Very difficult budgetary restraints.
Well, it is, you know, and it's tough because we all know ice hockey is like any other sport, and if you've got a little bit of money to throw around, you're certainly going to attract. But one thing about Alex Dampier is, I'll tell you, he performs the best when he's the underdog. He just loves to be the underdog, I'll tell you. That's the criteria he just goes with the most, and he works it so much to his advantage.
Well, they are tonight, but they're not playing like it, are they? The Newcastle Riverkings went into this game, one off the bottom of the table, whereas the Cardiff Devils one off the top of the table. The Cardiff Devils took the lead, but Newcastle have come back and they're really giving the Cardiff Devils a real tough game here. Mulvena, Knox driving for the net, and Mulvena's gone down in the corner. The referee hasn't called it though, Pope. There's a stick caught in there, so Pope got his stick just caught through the blades. You don't see that too often, actually.
You don't anymore, but it's a dangerous one if the guy decides to twist the leg. Here's a nice little 2-on-1, which creates the shot by Kevin Conway, but look at Blake Knox. Now that guy's driving for the net, so very, very well. Conway has no option when he's in the high slot area there. He has got to shoot the puck, especially got a player driving to the net. Good, solid hockey. You gotta like that. These guys drive into the net. That's how you get goals.
Royal going in with Moria for that face-off. Cardiff just about won it. They eventually get it to neutral ice, but it's very much still advantage Newcastle. Some good hits going in there as well. Lindbergh tries to get it away. Eckroth. Peter Eckroth wasn't expected to play at all this season, really, but with Jason Stone's injury, unless Cardiff get another new defenseman, he could be playing all of this season. Jago doing the defensive duties there. Tremblay rather wild with a stick, and Moria there just getting caught up with a stick in his skates. So now Newcastle coming forward, not the best of passes from Tremblay. Royal will get it back towards Tremblay. He was out in front, couldn't direct it. Suddenly it's Cardiff coming back forward. End-to-end stuff as we had in the first period. Out to Moria again once more. Couldn't really make the stick do what he wanted it to do. Intensity just stepping up a notch here in this second period in the last couple of minutes. Ruggles getting it out in front. Oh, a good pass onto the blade of Bondarchuk, but they've given him a great chance. Now, well, suddenly it's McEwen going forward at the other end with Priest. Priest going in there with the Costland, and Ruggles already back at his own end of the rink, and now still using that great skating ability to come forward. Good looking pass as well. Shot from Johnson, turned into the corner. Didn't really hit the shot cleanly. Sean Johnson still getting stuck in, but the puck is just taken away from him, but William helps it back on. This is Menard, the newcomer, fresh out of the Finnish Elite League, and that's a very good standard of ice hockey, I can tell you. Just held up there against the boards. Newcastle come away with it again. Certainly not overawed by playing the Cardiff Devils, who have been on such a roll of late. And Ruggles against his former club having a great game here. This is Sean Johnson. Leaves it for McCausland. Frank Evans just making sure all the way along that he couldn't get the pass in. Eventually he just used his fist there to hold him up, but I think a few people in the crowd at least thought there might have been a penalty call there. But
plenty of strong pressure, though, by the Newcastle Riverkings, getting that puck deep. That's where it becomes dangerous, and it also becomes very difficult defensively to get the puck out of the zone.
Crowd coming to life here as well. Matulik just held up. The referee keeps his arm down. It was first Cooper, and then Conway that held up Matulik. And now it's going to be a 3-on-2 for the Newcastle Riverkings. Mulveda, he's got options either side. Leaves it for... Oh, knocks out the shot, turned away. Almost fell for Conway.
I tell you, Kevin Conway in front of the net on an option like that, you don't see him miss very often.
And 3 saves there needed from Derek Orlovsky. He did what he had to do, but at 13-13 in the second period still to play, suddenly at 1-1, the Newcastle Riverkings have stepped up the pressure.
Well, that's what it's all about. This is a 3-on-2, and look at how they work it. You got that last guy driving to the net, and that's Conway on that play. Now, he's got the good, quick hands, eh? And most often, he's going to be the first guy to get his hands on that puck.
Kevin Conway will go in for this face-off with Steve Moria, and at the moment, Newcastle just ahead, 17-16. Can Steve Moria tie up that particular statistic? Most importantly, Kevin Conway wants to get it back to one of his men on the point, but it's not going to work out. It's Cardiff Devils now who just have a collision between 2 of their players, McIntyre and Moria. Low pass there up to Moria. Oh, that's straight to Simeone, getting it out in front. McIntyre stopped by a good effort from Knox. Simeone still working hard, tried to cycle it back into that corner. Newcastle Riverkings, though, are able to clear their zone. Only Knox has left the ice. They brought Trumbull on in his place. This is Simeone. Simeone with a shot. Well caught. County came out, narrowed the angle, and when the shot came, he caught the glove.
Well, Wayne Colley having to come up big. Simeone, as we said, is very hot on the shot at the moment. Colley coming way out to cut that angle down, but you can bet that Simeone had the angle picked. He knew where he was going with that shot. He wanted to go upstairs on the short side, but a good glove save.
7.5 minutes gone in the second period, and that was the first direct shot on goal for the Cardiff Devils. So the Newcastle Riverkings can feel perhaps a little unlucky that they're not ahead in this game.
I got a little bit of trivia going here. I got to get this one in. You got Mario Simeone, you got Hilton Ruggles, and we got Angelo Cantanero, who's our special guest tonight. They've got one thing in common. Let's talk about it a little later on.
It's a little trivia question for everybody to try and work out. We'll keep you guessing on that one. 12:08 to play, still 1-1, and still the pressure is on the Cardiff Devils and on Derek Orlovsky in the Cardiff Devils net.
Well, you know, as long as the Newcastle Riverkings are going to continue to play physical hockey, bump and grind, force the Devils to make mistakes, boy, this is going to be a long night, and it's not going to be an easy ride for Cardiff.
Well, Cardiff Devils and Manchester Storm are the only two sides that have winning away records in the Super League, but the Cardiff Devils haven't played many away from home. At the moment, they're being outshot in both periods of the Newcastle Riverkings. 17-10, the overall score at the moment, but 5-1 in this second period for the Newcastle Riverkings. They really are flying at the moment, aren't they? This is Jamie Black, former Basingstoke player. Another save as well there. Orlovsky having to do the honours once more for the Cardiff Devils. He really is having a busy evening, isn't he now, Derek Orlovsky?
Well, when you're going into the offensive zone, in my opinion, Jamie Black did this so very well, and I'll tell you why, because he went wide with the puck, and when you go wide with a puck, Steve, you create all kinds of options. And one of those options being I should say, is McCaslin. Now, he's driving in from the point. He's a Kip Noble type kind of guy, and he's a trailer on the play, so he's in there deep. And, of course, he's got a good scoring chance.
Derek Orlovsky, 8-0. We talked about that shutout that he had in his last game before Stevie Lyle took nets for 3 games. And just going back to Jamie Black, in fact, he scored in the last 3 games, 3 consecutive games that he scored. Kip Noble, he's on a roll. He's coming forward. Cooper didn't hold that up. Thornton, hold that up. Thornton got the shot away, backhanded. A lot of power, though. And the save was made. Thornton. Oh, that's great work by Cooper. Stephen Cooper picks up the puck as well there.
Well, that's an ideal drive. You got it in one, Steve. That's a 2-on-1 unless Stephen Cooper makes a great play.
Let's get some special comments now from our guest this evening, Captain Angelo Cantanero.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good game so far. I think Newcastle's playing, as I said before, a very smart game, and I guess as of right now, I think they've outchanced Cardiff. They've got some. I guess as of right now, I think they've outchanced Cardiff. They've got some fire in their belly, and they look like they're ready to play. And I think they're hungry for a win, and that's the difference right now.
Angelo Cantanero, more from him during the break after the second period. He's part of our little trivia with Hilton Ruggles, who's out there at the moment for the Newcastle Riverkings, and Mario Simeone, who's on the Cardiff bench at the moment.
Well, Newcastle coming off a 16-day layoff up until when they played Sheffield here just a few nights ago. And speaking to Alex before the start of the game, that was one of the reasons why they maybe perhaps 2 weeks. And when you're not playing, your game fitness has a tendency to decline a little bit.
1-8. They've won just 1, though, of the last 5 games. That was a shutout against London. And that last game against Sheffield was an amazing game because they lost it 5-1. They took the lead through Jamie Black after just 54 seconds as Cardiff come forward here. Good work again by the Newcastle defence, by Matheson in particular. They actually outshot the Sheffield Steelers in that game as well as taking the lead after 54 seconds, and somehow lost it 5-1 as the offside call is made. Let's go down and join Nick Rothwell.
Guys, just to let you know, Rob Trombley, he'll be missing the next few shifts. He's on the bench. There he is right there. He's just going to be sitting there for the next few shifts. He's had to actually take one of his skates off to get them resharpened. He's probably just lost an edge somewhere in the last play. So somebody's just taking the skate off into the change room and get it sharpened. He'll slap it on soon and be out there.
Rob Trombley, who's spent a fair amount of time in the penalty benches again this year. Rob Trombley with 73 minutes so far this season. It's been quite an open game. The referee, Murray Hansen, just at the moment asking the players to watch the interference, though. He doesn't want too much crush and grab in this game. This is McIntyre. Lindman with a shot. Oh, well, Cowley's quite happy to eventually see that one blown up.
Again, we're seeing more of Martin Lindman there. You see his offensive capabilities. Boy, I'll tell you, this guy, in my opinion, he is going to be heard from. McIntyre does some good work here. He potentially could have shot the puck. He elects to make the nice little back pass. But look at Wayne Cowley. His obstruction is behind him, so he gets clear crack at that puck.
Sporia versus Conway. Face off to the right of Cowley's goal, so Newcastle keen to win it. Getting it around the boards. It will come all the way through to Mulvanna. Looking for a way through again. Blake Knox is having a good time with it of late. Puck forward there once again, but Blake Knox is 9th all-time in the Super League scoring. He's with his third club actually in his third season. He's with his third club actually in his third season in the Super League, having played at Nottingham, of course, and Basingstoke before that. This is an opportunity for Blake Knox. Shot against the pads of the netminder.
Well, Blake Knox, he's another one of these guys, a little smaller in stature, but very feisty, and he's got good, quick hands. And if you do not take the body on guys like that, they're going to do damage to you.
Just over halfway through this game, this Super League match on the eve almost of Christmas. It's Newcastle 1, Cardiff 1. The Cardiff Devils, Manchester Storm with their game in hand to just 1 point. And as far as the Newcastle Riverkings are concerned, they're just trying to pull away from the sides down there at the bottom of the table.
There's a look from Derek Kolowski's point of view. Again, a face-off deep in their zone, but you can see that he's even out from his net. A good foot or two. Again, that's to cut that angle down, Steve. And these goaltenders, they cannot afford to be caught back in their net because it just opens it right up.
This time it's Royal against Priest for the face-off. Who will get the draw this time. Bounces back on the Newcastle side. Straight back into that corner though. That's good work by Newcastle. In the end though, Priest was covering up, got there before his opposite centre. Derry Bernard was the player who was back there, the last line of defence by the netminder, of course, for the Cardiff Devils. I got Williams a big man, but he was held up well there by Matheson. Just too many Devils there for Sean Johnson. Priest looking for his man on the far side, but William was the intended target. Just enough Newcastle players there to stop that pass reaching its target. Well, Johnson thought about chasing in there for the chance to avert the icing, but he was blocked by Evans, and so there was no problem for Pope to get back and get the touch for the icing call.
Well, Brent Pope, one of the defensive defensemen playing for the Cardiff Devils. You don't see him going forward very often, but he's a great guy. Big, solid fella. You see it there, 6'3", 16 stone. He's not scared of the penalty box, but he's very good. And these defensemen, especially when you got fast forwards, you can't keep your eye on that puck. You've got to make sure you take the body. You got to look at the guy right in the chest, because if you don't, he's going to get around you.
Pope's third season, and he's not having as good a time as he did when he first came to Britain, it must be said. Thornton! Oh, taking it right round Dean Cowley, but it was across the net, couldn't get it quite, the angle was too steep for him. Oh, and now Ruggles, a chance, skating in now Noble. Well, Noble's quick, and Noble gets there before Hilton Ruggles. Matulik is back there. What a Devils big captain. Great offensive talent, but doing the defensive duties there. Thornton lost it. Ruggles on the forecheck. Back to Cooper. There's Matulik, they're working hard, leaves it for Thornton. And then, of course, Matulik was offside, so they had to just dump it in there. Nonetheless, they take the opportunity to get some fresh legs out there. They've brought out Moria and Simeone and McIntyre. Ruggles still out there for the Newcastle Riverkings with Anthony Johnson and Kevin Conway. So just mixing the lines up a little bit here at the moment. Alex Dampier. This is Super Mario. Trying to live up to his name, but not quite able to on that occasion. Oh, McIntyre got it away, and Moria was trying to poach that one. Well, you never think that goals are too far away in this game, but at the moment we've had just the two, one each in the first period. And we've had almost 14 minutes now of this second period with no goals so far, no penalties in the second period, just 2 minors each side in the first, and icing the call there.
We'll have another opportunity to look at the recent scoring opportunity of Steve Thornton. Look at the fake that he makes here. Cowley coming way out of the net. But a good example of how angle comes to play when it's scoring goals. His shot from that point of view, Steve, would have literally had to have been right spot on to hit the far side of the net, and that's the only place that he could have hit on that play.
Steve Thornton, one of the players who will be playing in the All-Star game. We'll give you a telephone number later on in this match if you are interested in going down to that. Players from all teams will be involved in that. 7 Newcastle Riverkings players, 6 Cardiff Devils players. It's going to be North against South. Also going to be lots of skills competitions as well. One not to miss at the London Arena.
Those are usually a real good fun day. You know, the players come out, they're given an opportunity to show their skills, probably a little less physical play. So you kind of see open ice, movement, and lots of moves. Good, exciting stuff for the fans.
Newcastle Riverkings working hard with their forecheck here, keeping the Devils penned in. Derry Menard, the newcomer, getting it up to... Oh, McEwen gets a goal, a rare goal for him this season, but it gets the Cardiff Devils back in front. Riverkings 1, Devils 2.
Well, this is very much an innocent play, I would have to say, on behalf of the Cardiff Devils. The newcomer, Menard, trying to get the puck in his own. It's lost a minute. Just a bit of a psychological lapse, communication breakdown there. Conway loses the puck right onto the stick of Dougie McEwen. And this guy's been around long enough that if you give him a chance like that, boy.
4th goal of the season. Just 4 points this season for Doug McEwen, who scored somewhere over 600 goals now since he's come to Great Britain. Getting a bit more ice time tonight than he has done of late because Nicky Chin is absent for the Cardiff Devils, serving out his suspension. And assists for Mike McWilliam, and the first point as well for Derry Menard as well. Since he joined the club and played his first game, this is his second game, he played his first game against Ayr at the weekend. First point for Derry Menard then. Devils 2-1 up. Looking to make it 3. 2-1 up. Looking to make it 3. And that was Matulik's shot.
Boy, a nice little give and go there deep in the zone. Again, these Devils mustering things up from down low. And Matulik, he is so good when it comes to letting go that puck very quickly, and that's one of the reasons why this guy's the first player to score 50 goals and 100 points in the Secunda Super League.
He's now on 103 points, 52 goals altogether. He's all-time first. and at the moment he's 4th in this year's Spa.
I don't think that Wayne Cowley even saw that shot by Ivan Matulik, but fortunately enough, the pipe work is one of the best friends of the goalkeepers, and on that occasion, Wayne Cowley's.
Wayne Cowley came to this country and had a couple of games before he went back to the States, to Canada. Played one game for Edmonton in the North American Hockey League before coming back over to this country again. Not many players have gone from here to there and played in the NHL. Quite a few players these days have made the journey the other way. Ruggles clearing it. Ruggles clearing it. So less than 5 minutes to go in the second period. The Newcastle Riverkings responded exceptionally well to going a goal behind last time. They really stepped their game up when they fell behind. What can they do this time? They've got possession. This is Mike Shewan. Sean Johnson has lost a glove. Picks it up. Oh, he was still putting his glove on. Couldn't really get the shot away. This is Bondarchuk, turns. Let the shot go too soon before he turned quite far enough to get the angle on goal for the netminder. There was only Eckroth there to get it away, or Matulik it was, back defending to get it away. Matulik finding it hard going at the moment. It looks like he needs a rest as Bondarchuk comes forward. Again, Bondarchuk couldn't get past the netminder.
Well, Mike Bondarchuk, he's a prolific goal scorer. You give him opportunities like that. I know he's a bit hard on the luck at the moment. Nice little fake there that Brent Pope doesn't seem to respond to, which enables him to get the shot away. But Herlovsky, look at that, just a nice little move there. Which way is he going to go? Is he going to pass it? No, sir. Herlovsky has to be good, coming across to cut that angle down with a good glove save.
Well, he's scoring a few goals lately, but not as many goals perhaps this season as he would like, just 3. He had 25 goals and 22 assists back in 96-97 for Newcastle. In 95-96 he got 13 goals, 18 assists. Of course, Mike Bondarchuk is one of those players that went from here to Germany and then came back again. There's Kevin Conway, another of the great all-time scoring heroes of the British scene. He's the second all-time ISL goal scorer. Just a couple of goals, 48 Super League goals, just a couple behind Ivan Matulik, 4 in fact behind Ivan Matulik. Crowd enjoying this game. The majority, of course, will be from Newcastle and will enjoy it just that bit more if Newcastle get an equaliser. This is Blake Knox again. Oh, McCausland almost lost out to Moria there. And Blake Knox will chase it in, just 5'7", quite quick. Just got the touch there. We're going to have icing on that play. Blake Knox with 10 points in 5 games before he was kept off the score sheet in that last game. The game against Sheffield. But actually Blake Knox has scored the only short-handed goal of this season that the Newcastle Riverkings have managed, and that was against the Cardiff Devils. So how he'd like to do that again this evening. Not that they particularly want to take a penalty, but he'd be quite happy to score again. They're trailing by 2 goals to 1 to Cardiff, and Trumbull having a word there, trying to explain something, whilst he's having a rest with Alex Dampier. McEwen. Oh, that could so easily have been a goal as Priest tried to get the deflection. McEwen going in again, Priest driving in there as well. Priest with a shot, blocked by Cowley. 3 minutes left in this second period. Shots on goal so far, still favouring Newcastle. 3 more in the first period, 5 more so far in the second. 23-15 they're up, but they're trailing by 2 goals to 1. And just to say again, they lost 5-1 in their last game against the Sheffield Steelers. Even though they outshot the Sheffield Steelers in that game, they actually outshot them by 35-30.
It just goes to show you, quality of shot is probably more important than quantity of shot. And, you know, that's a fine distinction to make. A lot of the teams, they like to create, and they wait for that ideal opportunity before they're going to let that shot go.
An interesting statistic coming up for you in a moment on the number of shots for these two teams to score a goal. Getting the face-off first, though. Tremblay. Backhand on the ice there, having had his skate sorted out. Oh, McEwen checked by Cooper. Old friends, of course, those two. As Evans comes in, Priest trying to get his stick on it, right in front of Cowley's crease. The Devils at the moment just having a good spell.
We got a note, though, you know, we saw a turnover there just inside the Newcastle blue liner coming out, and it enabled the Devils to go back in, and you can see how important it is that if you try and capitalize on these turnovers, how much damage they can do. Most often, Most often, you've got the other team going the other direction as well.
Good breakout. This one for the Cardiff Devils, and McWilliam almost scored, but McEwen did get the touch. A second goal for Doug McEwen of the game, second of the period. 3 goals to 1, the Devils lead.
Some great anticipation here by the Cardiff Devils, Dougie McEwen. At this stage, really, 3-on-2, you got McWilliam driving to the net, but Dougie McEwen is there. Nobody's got him. You've got to have a back checker if you're the Newcastle or Riverkings, I should say, to make sure he's got that. Rebound comes out here, and you cannot blame Cowley because he made the original save.
Well, I said Doug McEwen was finding goals slightly harder to come by these days. He must have heard me. He's got 2 assists as well for line mates McWilliam and Merv Priest, and that line has worked well in the second period, hasn't it, for the Cardiff Devils? They've got them the 2 goals. They've got them the 2-goal lead for the first time in this game.
You know, that's a real bonus when you're a coach, when you can rely on a lot of different players, Steve, to come up trumps for you, and that's something that we have to say the Cardiff Devils have at the moment.
Sacratini turns, full circle. Sacratini turns, full circle. Just wheels around on the edge of that circle. Still going Sacratini, they just can't take the buck off him. Back to Pope, around the boards, that's going to be a Newcastle puck. Bondarchuk goes past Sacratini. Still Bondarchuk, it's going end to end. Bondarchuk's having his own private game there for a moment. Eventually, Sacratini has to stop the puck and stop the game to get Bondarchuk off the play. 1:09 left in this. Newcastle 1, Cardiff 3.
Well, a bit of a breakdown in terms of Alex Dampier's side, just only for a couple of minutes, but 2 quick goals by the Cardiff Devils, and they find themselves 2 down in the latter stages of this second period. You can see psychologically, you've got to be tuned all the time.
Well, they've had more shots, but just that statistic, shots per goal, to score a goal, it's been taking Newcastle 10.5 shots per goal. It's been taking Cardiff just 9 shots per goal to score a goal. That's the second best record in the league for Cardiff. And so far tonight, they've got a very impressive shot to goal ratio. I'm sure of that. Lindman checked against the boards by Mulvena. Inside the final minute of the period. Conway to Cooper. At the moment, the Cardiff Devils, Eckroth was the furthest forward player on the forecheck then for a moment for the Cardiff Devils.
That particular play can only happen, Steve, if everybody else on the ice has got their man covered. Because Eckroth can go forward there. He's sure he's not gambling in that particular scenario. He knows his other guys have got their men picked up, so he can concentrate on the puck carrier.
That was almost a great pass all the way through to Mario Simeone, who didn't quite pick it up on the blue line. 3 seconds left, we've got a stoppage of play here. Mario Simeone, he knows that this second period is all but done. Newcastle 1, Cardiff 3, a good period for the Cardiff Devils.
I got a good one for you right now, Steve. 3 seconds left in this second period. Does Alex Dampier pull his goaltender, put an extra... I've seen him do it before. I don't think he's doing it this time.
Thought about it. He definitely moved his eyes left from him,
See,
is where his netminder is.
He's not sure, Steve. I can tell you right now. Look, there's that whistle, and you can bet that he's thinking something here.
He's just signaling to Del Jago to get further up. He doesn't want it back on the blue line. He's got Mike Shewan now going in further forward, right up there alongside Michael William. As Knox goes in, 3 seconds, you've just got to get the puck back, maybe to Jago, get the shot away quickly and see if you can snap up any rebound. Well, 3 seconds left to play, but it's going to take a long time to play it. Well, 3 seconds left to play, but it's going to take a long time to play it. Murray Hansen wants Steve Murray out of there. He thinks he's been delaying it too much.
Well, players are getting a bit anxious as well. You got Conway and Merv Priest on the far side, but Merv Priest now in the face-off circle.
Cardiff just want to tie everybody up, and then that way the time goes by. It does. That's the end of the period. A good period for the Cardiff Devils. Alex Dampier not at all happy with that. Disappointed as well he might be, because Paul Heavy's side have taken a march in the second period. They're now leading by 3-1. Angelo Catanaro.
Hi, I'm Ivan Matulik from Cardiff Devils. On behalf of all the players, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
Hi, I'm Mark Wolf from the Ayr Scottish Eagles, and I'd like to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, especially in Ayr and all through the UK.
Hi, I'm Sean Johnson.
Hi, and I'm Paul Dixon. We play for Newcastle Riverkings.
We would like to wish all you Sky Sports viewers a very Merry Christmas.
Hi, I'm Dale Christmas.
And ho ho ho, here's the Christmas football on Sky Sports, starting on Boxing Day at noon from the First Division, West Brom against Port Vale. The big Premiership game is Blackburn against Aston Villa, also on Boxing Day. That's 5:30 Sky Sports 1. Then the Scottish Premier League game, that's on the Sunday, 5:30 Sky Sports 1. And that is Dundee against Celtic. Right here at the Telewest Arena, we're watching Newcastle against Cardiff. Couple of goals in that second period, both going to the Cardiff Devils, but Newcastle outshooting them 11-8 in that period and 23-17 over the two periods. And no penalty minutes served in that second period. And Angelo Catanaro, our special guest, what did you make of it?
Well, I think, Cardiff, you give it
a second period. And Angelo Catanaro, our special guest, what did you make of it?
Well, I think, Cardiff, you give them a couple opportunities, they're going to score goals, and that's what happened in that period there. I still think Newcastle played pretty well. They created some opportunities in the offensive zone, and like I said, Cardiff, you give them a couple chances, and that's what happened. They got a couple goals.
Well, Alex Dampier will certainly be disappointed, because Newcastle started that second period, the stronger, if anything, picking up from where they left off in the first.
Yeah, they had good momentum, from the first period. This is an example here of their counter-attack, which they've been doing pretty well tonight. It's a 3-on-2. Malvena drops it back. I think it's Blake Knox, and he just rips it, and you got Conway going to the net. And again, there he could have got an empty net goal. So it's a good example of what they've been doing all night. They've been waiting for the opportunity to go on the counter-attack, and they've been doing it quite well. I'm pretty impressed.
And it was, 7 minutes or so till Cardiff actually got their first shot on goal, I think. But they, of course, registered the important thing, which was the goal.
Yeah, like I said, they haven't. I don't think they've created a lot of opportunities offensively. What they have created, they've capitalized on. Well, this goal starts from the back in the own zone. It's kind of a funny goal here. I think Menard just tries to shoot it in, goes off someone's skate. McEwen just picks it up and shoots it at the net. Sort of not a planned play, definitely. And
how do you?
Well, exactly. I think, again, when you get the puck in the other team's zone or get it in front of the net or go to the net, a lot of things happen, and that's exactly what they did there. It's simple and it's effective, and that's what you want to try and do.
Well, Bob and Steve were wondering how Newcastle were going to come back from conceding that goal, especially against the run of play. They had another couple of decent chances. We saw one from Mike Bodnarchuk, which nearly got to a goal.
Yeah, again, this starts off by an offensive giveaway at the offensive blue line, and it's on the counterattack. He makes a pretty tricky move there, and a good shot. I think that was a pretty good stop by Harlovsky. That hard, but it was a good shot there, and not a bad play. It was a one-on-one. He was able to get the shot off. I think that's the best he could have done on that play for sure.
Yeah, and the killer punch, of course, was that third goal.
Well, again, it's typical of hockey. You're pushing all night, and then all of a sudden, like here, you get a bounce. It goes up to the blue line. I think it's a 2-on-1 right away with Newcastle guy coming back. But you got McWilliam driving to the net, which is perfect. Great stop by Cowley. And again, McEwen picks up for an easy goal. Could have been maybe a little bit better coverage on McEwen there. He was left alone, but tough play, you know. Like I say, got McWilliam driving to the net. It's a big guy. You have to get more than just a stick on him. Created a great opportunity again by just driving him. Created a great opportunity again by just driving to the net and creating an opening.
Well, only 2 goals in it, and we'll have the third period, of course, for you coming up. But now let's take a look at some of the action taken place over the last weekend or so, including a couple of games for Ayr and Angelo.
Cardiff needed 2 points to maintain the pressure on Manchester on Saturday night. Current champions Ayr took a power play lead through Sean Byram to be 1-up at the end of the first. But the Devils weren't having any, only providing the help. John Parko gave Ayr some hope with this effort to bring the score back to 4-2 heading into the third. However, it was Cardiff outshooting Ayr 40-28, and they scored the only third period goal. Martin Lindman finding the empty net. A crushing victory here at Newcastle last Saturday saw Sheffield climb up 3 places, even though Jamie Black gave the home team a first-minute lead. The Steelers' attack was spurred into action. They took a 2-1 first-period lead. Scott Allison got his first of 2 on the night to equalize before Teeter Wynn latched onto Allison's drop pass to put the visitors in front. Allison and Priestley notched the third and fourth before Ed Courtney rounded off the scoring. For the 4th time in 8 league games at the London Arena, it went to OT. The visitors' Ayr took the first period lead through David St. Pierre. It stayed that way until a frantic 60-second spell midway through the second. First skipper Ian Cooper tied the game up. Then Jason Campo beat Riandu to edge the Knights in front 27 seconds later. Ayr then went up the other end to make it 2-2 through Mark Wolf, and it stayed like that through extra time. So the Seconda Super League looks like this. Manchester, Cardiff, and Nottingham battling it out at the top, while positions 4 to 8, they're only separated by 3 points.
Well, it doesn't make happy reading, does it, for you and the Ayr Scottish Eagles? 6th place, the Grand Slam last year.
I mean, last game even in London, we were all over them during the game, and I think we deserved the win before overtime even happened, and it just didn't happen that way. You know, we're having a hard time scoring, and we're making some crucial mistakes.
Just briefly, what do you now see as your targets for this season?
Well, I still think realistically we have to get in the top 4 and then work from there. You know, I think even last year, the pace, we're not really that far off our pace from last year. You know, we started playing really well after the new year in January, and hopefully that's going to happen again. And, you know, at this point, all you can do is work hard and climb up the ladder as much as possible and then take it step by step. And I think that's what we're looking for right now.
Angelo, thank you. Some important games coming up over the Christmas period. Let's take a look at them.
Scoring, and we're making some crucial mistakes.
Just briefly, what do you now see as your targets for this season?
Well, I still think realistically we have to get in the top 4 and then work from there. You know, I think even last year, the pace, we're not really that far off our pace from last year. You know, we started playing really well after the new year in January, and hopefully that's going to happen again. And, you know, at this point, all you can do is work hard and climb up the ladder as much as possible and then take it step by step. And I think that's what we're looking for right now.
Angelo, thank you. Some important games coming up over the Christmas period. Let's take a look at them. So some cracking games coming up, and our next tie is Cardiff against Bracknell from the Ice House. That's New Year's Eve from 4 p.m. Right now we're concentrating on Cardiff at Newcastle in the Telewest Arena, and the fans from Newcastle will have their part to play if Newcastle are going to get back into this game. They trail 3-1 after the second period, but only a couple of goals in it. And Newcastle still very much in it. We'll be back with the third period straight after this break. We'll be back with the third period straight after this break. Action, Atlanta against Miami, Arizona against San Diego. That's Sunday 5:30 on Sky Sports 3. Newcastle trail Cardiff 3-1 here in Newcastle. Let's get back to Bob Carroll and Steve James.
The Newcastle Riverkings have only ever once managed to win the third period against the Cardiff Devils by a margin of 2 goals. And we're going to have a little delay on the start of this game because we've got some work to be done on the ice, but there's Alex Dampier trying to work out a way that he can just improve his side's record this evening, because they've outshot the Cardiff Devils. They've had 23 shots but have scored just 1 goal. That's a 4% success rate compared to the Cardiff Devils, who've got an 18% record, 3 goals from 17. And there you can see them just sorting out some water that's been left on the ice behind the goal, which is going to be defended by the Cardiff Devils in this third period. And Norrie Grieve just trying to spread the water out a little bit so that it can freeze, and then we can get this third period underway.
For our car windows, I'm just kidding about that, but that's right, a little bit too much water behind the nets, and that's because the Zamboni, when it resurfaces, it seems to cross over there maybe a few more times than it does the rest of the ice, and of course the plant just can't cope with that. There's the goaltenders. You see that most often. Look at that. They continue to scratch just like a cat. They loosen that ice up so it's easier for them to slide around that crease area.
We're now going to get this third period underway. It's the Newcastle Riverkings trailing at home against the Cardiff Devils, having never beaten them here in the last 5 Super League games. 5 times they've played in Super League in this arena, and yet the Newcastle Riverkings have such a good record down in Cardiff. Until they lost there this year back in October, they had a winning record down there. Here's Sacratini though, his line hasn't scored yet this evening. Didn't score this time either, took the net out.
Well, Sacratini's a feisty guy driving to the net. Wayne Cawley not happy there because Sacratini drove hard and of course took Cawley in with him, along with McCasland, I believe. He was part of that.
There, just, well, he had to go for, he drove for the net.
Well, that's what it's all about, you know. This is a great play here by Stevie Thornton to get that puck to him. But Vince, he tries to get upstairs with that puck because he knows that he's running out of room and he's running out of angle as well. Lucky thing, though, is these nets and the moorings that they're on now are easily disposed of, you know, so that allows that net to move, because otherwise there could be very serious injury, yeah.
Well, Murray Hansen managed to sort that one out without calling any penalties. He's only called 2 minors to each side so far, both in the first period. And I would say Murray Hansen, he's only called 2 minors to each side so far, both in the first period. And I would say Murray Hansen's done a pretty good job so far tonight.
He's very vocal with the players, Steve. You mentioned that as well earlier on. Once he's made a decision, one of the things he does is he says, listen, fellas, stay away from me. The decision's made. Get on with playing. I don't want to know.
I think Newcastle haven't been happy with a couple of decisions that have been made, but by and large, well, they're coming forward now. McCausland with the shot. It's blocked by Pope. There he's back to get it away again, but there's the forecheck from Newcastle, trying to keep the puck in that zone, trying to win it back. They don't. Well, this is a 2-on-2. They don't. Well, this is a 2-on-2 breakaway, and Noble's jumped up too. Noble was pitching in there. He loves to get forward, doesn't he, Kip Noble? And he won't be happy that he hasn't scored a point so far. This is another test for Murray Hansen, because just a little bit of handbags there. Stevie Thornton, though, sent away. The line changes happen.
Well, Steve Thornton and Darren McCasland sort of looking at one another, but oh, that's the part. Stevie Thornton, in my opinion,
Newcastle could break out then, and if Black had it, it could have been a 2-on-1 break, but Cardiff have it. They can suddenly turn. Was Simeone offside there? No. Jago held him up well, though. Good work by Jago. Simeone gets stumped on the ice. Former Manchester Storm player Jago doing well. Eckroth just passing it in. Thought about the shot, then passed it in, but found Eric Royal. The American coming forward. Little pass outside, back to Royal. Tremblay had skated to the net. He's moved out of that position now. Everybody forward, everybody in that zone. This is Royal. Break out then, and if Black had it, it could have been a 2-on-1 break, but Cardiff have it. They can suddenly turn. Was Simeone offside there? No. Jago held him up well, though. Good work by Jago. Simeone gets stumped on the ice. Former Manchester Storm player Jago doing well. Eckroth just passing it in. Thought about the shot, then passed it in, but found Eric Royal. The American coming forward. Little pass outside, back to Royal. Tremblay had skated to the net. He's moved out of that position now. Everybody forward, everybody in that zone. This is Royal. It's in. Into that corner. Black having to wait for his option because it's Tremblay. Cooper now skating out in front. But there's a man for every man out there. Eventually Jago just hooks the puck out, gets it back to Ryan. He's got space for the shot. Got the shot away. And Orlovsky made a bit of a meal of it, but made the save.
well, I'll tell you what, you know, there's a perfect example. We had what we called a 2-on-2 deep in the zone until Jago went in there. He was the odd man. They got the puck back to Royal. They created this scoring opportunity. And again, Orlovsky has to come up big because who's in front of the net there? Other than Tremblay. Rob Tremblay looking for that rebound.
It's like a bear catching a fish there, Derek Orlovsky. But he's got the puck. Now the face-off. Could be an important time. As we said, face-offs could be so crucial. This time Bondarchuk eventually got it towards the goal. There was nobody there. Well, Evans, the linesman, said that didn't go out.
After 5 years of pro hockey in the United States,
he played in the WHL and the AHL. He was with the Portland Pirates before he went to Germany, Darren McCausland. And this is his chance to let go of his slap shot. He was blocked straight away. Jerry Mellard gets the touch there, and there's a penalty, and it's going to be a penalty coming up. 2 minutes each in the first period, none in the second period, but now we've got a penalty against Mike McWilliam of the Cardiff Devils, and so we're going to have only our third to Newcastle. A cross-checking call.
After 5 years of pro hockey in the United States,
he played in the WHL and the AHL. He was with the Portland Pirates before he went to Germany, Darren McCausland. And this is his chance to let go of his slap shot. He was blocked straight away. Jerry Mellard gets the touch there, and there's a penalty, and it's going to be a penalty coming up. 2 minutes each in the first period, none in the second period, but now we've got a penalty against Mike McWilliam of the Cardiff Devils, and so we're going to have only our third to Newcastle. A cross-checking call against Mike McWilliam, and I was wondering if we'd go a whole game without Mike McWilliam getting a penalty, and it's not to be.
well, I didn't think that Maury Hansen was going to see this one, but very much he's the eagle eye. And it's to the top of our screen. I think we miss it here, but Mike McWilliam just caught Mike Bondarchuk with a cross-check just inside the blue line. And it was a cracker right on the waist area. Those babies hurt.
And he's handed the Newcastle Riverkings a chance to get themselves back into this game. 3-1 down, a power play goal will get them very much back in this match. So far this season, the Newcastle Riverkings have had advantages 11 times on the Cardiff Devils, but scored just once. And that's their power play overall this season, 14.8%, not good. Not as bad as some, certainly nowhere near as bad as the Cardiff Devils power play this season, but the Newcastle Riverkings can improve that now with Dale Jago in possession. When you're on the power play, though, you want to be at the other end of the rink, where you can make something happen. Jago going a long way, now gets some support. Morena. Back to Stephen Cooper. They're moving the puck around nicely. And the shot from Jago didn't work at all, did it?
It didn't, you know, the Newcastle Riverkings perhaps being a bit stationary on this power play. I still believe that you got to move that puck around a little bit, because that enables the Devils to set that box up in the penalty killing defense. And once that's set up, you got to get it moving around before you're going to create your opportunities.
Kit Noble ranked 12th on the all-time list, top scoring defenseman of all time. He's the top in the Super League at the moment. He's in 10th position, and he's 12th overall, and he's certainly the leading scorer as far as defensive players are concerned for the Cardiff Devils.
Well, also recently voted the Conda Player of the Month, and you know, he beat a lot of very quality players out to achieve that award. So you can see that he's very much recognized in terms of top players in the Super League this season.
And another one of those players who's going to be playing in the All-Star game on December the 28th at the London Arena, playing in the South team. There are 7 Newcastle Riverkings players in the North team.
I'll tell you, a lot of confidence here on the penalty kill by the Devils. Strong forecheck, not allowing the Riverkings to settle. And also finding it very difficult, Steve, to gain that offensive zone.
Well, a good record in penalty killing against the Newcastle Riverkings this year, the Cardiff Devils. Under pressure here. Not particularly good record overall, though. They keep it in the zone. Newcastle shots away, and it's wide. There's 30 seconds left on the power play. The Newcastle Riverkings keeping that puck moving. Back into the corner. Black brings it out. And the pass is a giveaway. Cardiff Devils penalty killing is only the 6th best overall in Super League at 86.3 before this game. But that's another one tonight. They've killed off 2 this evening, and that time they managed to restrict Newcastle to not having a single shot on that power play, a single shot on goal. But William is back on the ice. That's Cardiff penalty killing this year. 10 times they've been beaten as... Oh, that's a goal for Cardiff Devils, and that must surely put them in a strong chance of winning the game. Mike McWilliam makes it 4-1.
It's a turnover just outside Newcastle's defensive zone. Trying to get out, and you make a pass into open ice, and even a guy like Big McWilliam is going to make no mistake on this scenario. He has got all kinds of time. Puts the old Wayne Gretzky backhand move there. Wayne Cowley's not certain which way he's going to go, and he puts it up into the top part of the table.
The rest obviously did him good. He came off the bench, Mike McWilliam, and he got maintaining this impressive record in the Newcastle Arena. And Mike McWilliam has got a very important goal there indeed for the Cardiff Devils. It gives them their lead. Now 3 goals to their lead.
Well, I know that Paul Heavey likes to use Big Mike with some of the smaller players, because what happens is it gives them credibility, gives them a little more opportunity and time with the puck. And, you know, and that's such a prominent thing when it comes to these guys that are physical, big, strong, and the policemen on the team.
Mike McWilliam just coming back from a ban. He had a 2-match ban after an incident against... Mike McWilliam has got a very important goal there indeed for the Cardiff Devils. It gives them their lead. Now 3 goals to their lead.
Well, I know that Paul Heavey likes to use Big Mike with some of the smaller players, because what happens is it gives them credibility, gives them a little more opportunity and time with the puck. And, you know, and that's such a prominent thing when it comes to these guys that are physical, big, strong, and the policemen on the team.
Mike McWilliam just coming back from a ban. He had a 2-match ban after an incident against Manchester, some fighting. He's not afraid to drop the gloves, is Mike McWilliam. We've seen that many times this season. There's Mike McWilliam again. Surely he is an important player in terms of his physical presence, but he must be more value to the Devils when he is playing, when he is on the ice, rather than when he's sitting out long penalties.
Well, I think so, you know, but under no estimation does Mike McWilliam not know what his role is with the Cardiff Devils, and, you know, when push comes...
Well, as we said already, the record here for the Cardiff Devils is so impressive. They've lost a couple of times here in the games they have played, but never in the Super League. 5 times they've played in Super League, these two sides, and Paul Heavey has been in charge for every single one of those games, and he's always come away from here as a victor.
Well, you know, the Devils have a very difficult part of the schedule coming up for them. They've got something like 4 games in 10 days, and it's important that they keep that ball rolling if they're going to be hot on the tail of the Manchester Storm.
Well, it's kind of payback time for the Cardiff Devils in a way as well, because they've had... This is Pope. Seems as though the Riverkings have just picked up a gear a minute or two. Oh, they're going really now to try and get this goal back.
I think it's all about a bit of a mental lapse, defensive lapse. Sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't. It happened to the Newcastle Riverkings in the latter part of that second period. Of course, the minute you let up, that gives an opportunity for that other team to try and capitalize. You've got to be focused all the time.
Devils still going forward, but Tulik was almost away just now, but a good check by Rob Tremblay. Still battling them. They're looking for that goal. This is Pope. Seems as though the Riverkings have just picked up a gear a minute or two. Oh, they're going really now to try and get this goal back.
I think it's all about a bit of a mental lapse, defensive lapse. Sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't. It happened to the Newcastle Riverkings in the latter part of that second period. Of course, the minute you let up, that gives an opportunity for that other team to try and capitalize. You've got to be focused all the time.
Devils still going forward, but Tulik was almost away just now, but a good check by Rob Tremblay. Still battling them. They're looking for that goal. Hilton Ruggles has one tonight. Couldn't get that one away. Plenty of time for Reckroff. McIntyre looking to send Simeone away. Simeone wasn't granted an assist on the first goal that Devils scored by Murray. I'm sure that he deserved one, and I'm sure they'll probably adjust that at some point. Eckroth. The veteran Swede, 38 years old, to Martin Lindman. Looking for that goal. Hilton Ruggles has one tonight. Couldn't get that one away. Plenty of time for Eckroth. McIntyre looking to send Simeone away. Simeone wasn't granted an assist on the first goal that Devils scored by Murray. I'm sure that he deserved one, and I'm sure they'll probably adjust that at some point. Eckroth. The veteran Swede, 38 years old, to Martin Lindman. And Priest tried to pick it up after Conway couldn't clear. Pick it up after Conway couldn't clear. Gets to his feet again quickly. Priest, but Newcastle. Good fast end-to-end spell of ice hockey here. Conway, oh, great work by Conway, and oh, that would have been a great goal, but they couldn't quite find a way past Derek Orlovsky.
Well, I think everybody in the building thought that Kevin Conway was going to take that shot about 2 seconds earlier than what he did. But what a move he made to pull that puck inside. There you go. He caught Lindman standing still there outside. But again, look at that, boy. Standing still defenseman, keep your eye on the puck. That's what's going to happen to you. You got to take the body on the play. Good save, Orlovsky.
Kevin Conway. Just a couple of goals required for Kevin Conway as he tries to get 50 in Super League. Close to getting number 49 there.
Steve McEwen's got a great chance on making it the old hat trick this evening.
On a night when he's getting more ice time than usual, he's certainly making a case for getting a few more shifts on a regular basis. 4 goals to 1. The lead at the moment. The goals started very early in the first period. Cardiff Devils scoring on just the second shift through Steve Moriarty. One other goal in the first period, that was Hilton Ruggles on 11:45, 1-1. The second period belonged to the Devils and to Doug McEwen. That's the first. And McEwen got a second of the night to make it 3-1. And in this third period, Mike McWilliam taking advantage of a poor pass out. McWilliam was away, 4-1. That's how it stands. And we have less than 10 minutes to go in this third period. A long chase out there. Oh, County's been caught out by Thornton. Back to Sacratini. Sacratini gets the goal. Sacratini settles the issue. He makes it 5 goals to 1.
Well, when you're a goaltender, that's the gamble you take right there. When you come out of your net, you got to make sure that you clear the puck. In this case, it doesn't happen, and it's only empty net for Steve Thornton and Vezio Sacratini to take advantage of this one, to give the Devils their 5th of the evening. Bit of misfortune because Wayne Cowley has played tremendously well for the Newcastle Riverkings.
Vezio Sacratini, they're getting his 9th goal of the season. He's got an impressive record overall in Super League as well. He's the 4th highest all-time scorer in Super League back in '97, and he's way up there in the overall standings. And just a little bit of water being sprayed onto the ice there so that they could patch up another
one to give the Devils their 5th of the evening. Bit of misfortune because Wayne Cowley has played tremendously well for the Newcastle Riverkings.
Vezio Sacratini, they're getting his 9th goal of the season. He's got an impressive record overall in Super League as well. He's the 4th highest all-time scorer in Super League back in '97, and he's way up there in the overall standings. And just a little bit of water being sprayed onto the ice there so that they could patch up another.
Well, I think there's a tremendous amount of telepathy here of all the guys playing together on lines in Cardiff here tonight, boy, because they're driving for the net well, and their timing is so much accurate at the moment. They're getting a shot away, the rebound's coming at the right time, and everything's just moving in their direction.
They'll have to clear that zone. Shewan turns it back in. Puck down to the other end, waiting for the defenseman to get a touch. In fact, it's Anthony Johnson who goes back to collect the icing. Mario Simeone, and it's for the Italian national team, 41.
Well, I think there's a tremendous amount of telepathy here of all the guys playing together on lines in Cardiff here tonight, boy, because they're driving for the net well, and their timing is so much accurate at the moment. They're getting a shot away, the rebound's coming at the right time, and everything's just moving in their direction.
They'll have to clear that zone. Shewan turns it back in. Puck down to the other end, waiting for the defenseman to get a touch. In fact, it's Anthony Johnson who goes back to collect the icing. Mario Simeone, and it's for the Italian national team, 41 times, came to this country from a spell in Denmark. Shall we tell people the link between Ruggles, Simeone and our special guest Angelo Catanaro?
Well, I think it's time now. All of those 3 players, Steve, played together 13 years ago in Asiago, Italy. The Cat, Angelo Catanaro, just fresh out of junior hockey, making a name for himself in the professional leagues.
Ruggles and Simeone out there at the moment. We'll have more words from Angelo Catanaro at the end of this game. He's our special guest, the Air captain tonight. There's Simeone on the boards.
I suppose, Steve, we can say ice hockey is a small world.
It is indeed. I was chatting with Jerry Menard before this game, the newcomer. This is Simeone, though, for... Well, just didn't quite get call wood on that particular pass. Derry Menard was telling me all the players that he knows already in this league. The shot coming in from Jago, taken by Holowski. And it's amazing how many players he knows, even though he's never played in this country before, Derry Menard, including a couple of old Cardiff Devils players who are no longer here, Marty Utuk and Doug McCarthy, who basically recommended him to come to this country and to come to the Cardiff Devils. We've mentioned the All-Star game a number of times this evening. And if you would like to go along to that game, doors open at 1 p.m. Before the face-off, there's lots of skills competitions as well. Before a North v South match, call that telephone number on your screen if you would like to know about tickets. It's at the London Arena on Monday, December the 28th, and it's well worth going.
Well, I think the pressure's off a lot of these players when they come into situations like that and games, and I think it's going to be a fun day added by all. Should be a lot of credibility and a lot of good fun. In terms of...
Here's Derry Menard. He was also telling me he's still finding his feet a little bit. He had 12 days off the ice before he came to this country and played his first game at the weekend. Shots on target for the evening. Cardiff actually in this third period just evening things up a little bit, but they're still behind on shots on goal. 3 less shots on goal, but 4 more goals. They're leading by 5 goals to 1. We've got just over 7 minutes left of this game. And the Cardiff Devils look
in mode, and you know, they're really on fire at the moment. Of course, they got a tough one coming up against the Nottingham Panthers. They won't be thinking about that at the moment. They know that they still got a little bit of time left here in Newcastle, but a good road win, and anytime you win on the road, as Paul Heavey is saying to his guys, Peter Eckroth there, you got to be happy with that.
Well, Peter Eckroth thought he was going to be a coach this year. He was supposed to be coaching the Cardiff Rage, the second-string team down in Cardiff, but that's just not working out at all because he's been pressed into service time and time again. And I can see him playing the whole season, even at the age of 38.
Well, you know, you got to be fortunate when you got a guy like Peter Eckroth and the experience that he carries. You know, he's going to add some stability. And the experience that he carries, you know, he's going to add some stability to that defensive corps. And there's certainly some guys that can move the puck offensively.
But William. Oh, well, there's a big hit taken on the boards down just in front of the scorer's bench. Mike McWilliam bending down to try and get a look at Mulvenna. Glenn Mulvenna has taken quite a heavy hit there. 6:45 left on the game. Cardiff.
Let's see if we can have a look at that most recent hit. Both these guys going at it. Oh, it's the high stick that actually catches Glenn Mulvenna. Just on the side of the face area there, and he goes down very heavily as a result of that. Looks like he may have a nasty cut. Glenn Mulvenna signed by the Newcastle Riverkings midway through this season, and he's come very strong offensively as of late. So they'll miss him dearly because they put him on a line with Kevin Conway and Blake Knox.
Well, if that was a high stick and he's drawn blood as well, surely Mike McWilliam could find himself going for this game, but obviously not, because the linesman or the referee presumably didn't see it.
Well, and also I think, you know, that there is the accidental issue. I know the blood is what you're talking about.
Mike McWilliam skating over. He's had a 2-minute cross-checking penalty tonight. He normally takes a little more than that, more than just the 2 minutes of a game. Got away with that one on that occasion. To see exactly from that first replay we saw whether or not it was an intentional high sticks. Just didn't see it anyway.
Well, certainly it wasn't intentional. I'll stand up for Mike McWilliam on that play. And the thing about it is he went to clear the puck out of the zone, got the stick up a bit high. Darren McCaslin, 26 years of age, 5'11", 13 stone 3. As you said, he's played in Berlin last season, but he's also had American Hockey League experience. Played previously with captain Jim Matheson of the Newcastle Riverkings, and both those guys made strength and effort playing in the American Hockey League back in North America.
Well, Newcastle Riverkings did have a good spell back in October. They beat Manchester. Cardiff Devils haven't beaten Manchester. We've got another penalty coming up here. It's going to be a power play, an interference call on Dale Jago. It's going to be a power play for the Cardiff Devils. Or 77, in fact, I beg your pardon. So it's Mike Bondarchuk, not Dale Jago. There's Mike Bondarchuk going off. So just over 6 minutes to go.
Well, Mike Bondarchuk is driving for the net here, and you can see the haul down that he creates against number 15, Saku Eklof. And as a result, Mike Bondarchuk goes off on an interference call. He was driving for the net. He wanted to make sure the man covered him, didn't go with him, hoping that he would get that pass back.
Not sure if that wasn't Saku Eklof's first shift, certainly one of the first shifts he's had in the evening, and he's drawn a penalty. And given the Cardiff Devils a chance to improve their power play statistic, which hasn't been having left Eastern Europe for North America.
Yeah, Ivan Matulik, they brought him out of Slovakia as a 17-year-old. He actually had the defect. He's now a Canadian citizen, spends his summers in Canada. And, you know, he's been an impact player since he came to this country, initially to Sheffield. The guy just keeps getting stronger and stronger.
Out there Matulik with Thornton, the other winger, and Sacratini up there against Blake Knox. Kevin Conway out there as well. But the puck here on the Europe for North America.
Yeah, Ivan Matulik, they brought him out of Slovakia as a 17-year-old. He actually had the defect. He's now a Canadian citizen, spends his summers in Canada. And, you know, he's been an impact player since he came to this country, initially to Sheffield. The guy just keeps getting stronger and stronger.
Out there Matulik with Thornton, the other winger, and Sacratini up there against Blake Knox. Kevin Conway out there as well. But the puck here on the power play for the Newcastle Riverkings. Just over 5 minutes to go. And 4 goals behind. It's a tall order. But any goals they can get in this game just to try and give them some confidence back after the 5-1 defeat here against Sheffield Steelers as well, with some important games coming up for them as well in the next few weeks. No team, though, has ever come back from this margin in a Super League game and won. That's the kind of task they've got facing them against Cardiff Devils.
Well, the Newcastle Riverkings doing a good job defensively, I feel, on this penalty kill, setting that box up and using it very strongly, forcing the Devils to try and move that.
So there's 4 goals behind. It's a tall order. But any goals they can get in this game just to try and give them some confidence back after the 5-1 defeat here against Sheffield Steelers as well, with some important games coming up for them as well in the next few weeks. No team, though, has ever come back from this margin in a Super League game and won. That's the kind of task they've got facing them against Cardiff Devils.
Well, the Newcastle Riverkings doing a good job defensively, I feel, on this penalty kill, setting that box up and using it very strongly, forcing the Devils to try and move that.
So there's 4 minutes left in this game. We're back to even strength, 5-on-5. The Cardiff Devils with the lead, 5 goals to 1. And the Newcastle penalty killing 75% this season. And they had to withstand 5 shots on their goal in that particular power play on that penalty kill, and they managed to succeed. Rob Tremblay at the front there, alongside Blake Knox, Kevin Conway in the background as well.
Well, I think tough guys come in all shapes and sizes, and Rob Tremblay is certainly one of them. He's not the biggest guy in stature, say, for example, compared to a Mike McWilliam.
Minutes left in this game. We're back to even strength, 5-on-5. The Cardiff Devils with the lead, 5 goals to 1. And the Newcastle penalty killing 75% this season. And they had to withstand 5 shots on their goal in that particular power play on that penalty kill, and they managed to succeed. Rob Tremblay at the front there, alongside Blake Knox, Kevin Conway in the background as well.
Well, I think tough guys come in all shapes and sizes, and Rob Tremblay is certainly one of them. He's not the biggest guy in stature, say, for example, compared to a Mike McWilliam. We all know that this guy, he can certainly throw him. The big thing about a good fighter is, Steve, is they're not scared to take a punch to give one. And that's one of the things I admire about Rob Tremblay. He's very good at that. He'll take a couple to go in for the big snag afterwards.
Now Alex Dampier has at times told Rob Tremblay that he's needed to just calm himself down because he's needed on the ice this season. And the reins put on him a little bit in that respect. This is Anthony Johnson. That's good work by the young British player. Gets it to his brother. Oh, that was almost a Johnson goal, which would have been nice. Johnson and Johnson. This is Anthony again. And the two Johnson brothers working well on this particular shift. This is Sean again, getting it out in front, but the Cardiff Devils can break forward quickly here. McIntyre taking on Mike Shewan. Going right the way around, will he go for the rapid? No, goes to the corner. Oh, Lindman lost that one out as well to Anthony Johnson again. Perhaps opted for the wrong move there, but they'll take the opportunity to end their shift. A good shift that for the Johnson brothers and Mike Bondarchuk for the Newcastle Riverkings. Offside the call there as the Cardiff Devils went forward. Or indeed the icing, we're going back down to the other end.
Well, that pass going 3/4 of the length of the ice again. These guys able to move that puck so very well, but McIntyre going offside. As a result, the face-off goes back deep into Cardiff territory. Alex Dampier, his worries mounting a little bit now. He knows that this game is very quickly going out of reach, but more importantly, he's got to try and build because his teams are struggling offensively at the moment to try and get themselves on the scoreboard.
The Newcastle Riverkings have never been able to manage more than 2 wins in a row this season.
Well, that pass going 3/4 of the length of the ice again. These guys able to move that puck so very well, but McIntyre going offside. As a result, the face-off goes back deep into Cardiff territory. Alex Dampier, his worries mounting a little bit now. He knows that this game is very quickly going out of reach, but more importantly, he's got to try and build because his teams are struggling offensively at the moment to try and get themselves on the scoreboard.
The Newcastle Riverkings have never been able to manage more than 2 wins in a row this season. They've won just 6 altogether this season. But as we were saying earlier, they spent the whole of last year bottom of the table, so they have had a little bit of improvement from last year. They did have that win against Manchester by 4-2 in this Telewest Arena. They also lost 10-1 in Manchester, mind. Big shot coming in from Kip Noble. Cardiff Devils not conceding a power play goal this evening. They've not scored on the power play either. It's Kip Noble there just... They've won just 6 altogether this season. But as we were saying earlier, they spent the whole of last year bottom of the table, so they have had a little bit of improvement from last year. They did have that win against Manchester by 4-2 in this Telewest Arena. They also lost 10-1 in Manchester, mind. Big shot coming in from Kip Noble. Cardiff Devils not conceding a power play goal this evening. They've not scored on the power play either. It's Kip Noble there just quite animated.
Well, Kip Noble, one of the offensive defensemen, as you see, at 6 goals, 12 assists in 17 games. So he gets himself on the scoreboard. But speaking to him before the start of the game, Steve, his daughter's not very well this evening, and sometimes I think that has a bit of a play on these guys' mind. But we wish them all the best at home and hope that everything's okay.
Especially at this time of year, with Christmas coming up. Talking about the power play for the Cardiff Devils, they've had no power play goals in the last 6 games. That's 0 from 22 before this game. It'll be 7 games and 0 from 24 at the end of this game, unless they get one. They've only scored 1 power play goal on the road this season.
You know, and when you're winning games by 4 goals or whatever, your power play isn't always the biggest concern, but When games get tight, you know, and you're talking about title-type matches, that's when you really realize that the power play has to become prominent. Specialty teams become very crucial at that stage.
They got 2 penalty power play goals against Nottingham Panthers, but that's the only time in the last 11 games, if this one finishes the way it is now, that they will have actually scored on the power play, the Cardiff Devils. In this game, it'll be 7 games and 0 from 24 at the end of this game, unless they get one. They've only scored 1 power play goal on the road this season.
You know, and when you're winning games by 4 goals or whatever, your power play isn't always the biggest concern, but when games get tight, you know, and you're talking about title-type matches, that's when you really realize that the power play has to become prominent. Specialty teams become very crucial at that stage.
They got 2 penalty power play goals against Nottingham Panthers, but that's the only time in the last 11 games, if this one finishes the way it is now, that they will have actually scored on the power play, the Cardiff Devils, and perhaps a weakness in their makeup as they chase the Manchester Storm. The Newcastle Riverkings looking just to end this game with some sort of consolation. They're trailing by 5 goals to 1. Doug McEwen, he's looking for a hat-trick for himself with 1 minute left to go on this game. Mike McWilliam. McEwen skating down into that corner. He's capable of picking up the puck from just about everywhere and scoring. And Glenn Mulvenna is getting stitches at the moment after that cut from the stick of Mike McWilliam. Into the front, oh! So close for Sean Johnson, couldn't quite get the goal, Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson without a goal in Super League this season, so close to getting his first there, working hard out there with his brother once again. And Mike Bonachuk, this is Dale Jago, offside.
Dale Jago signing by the Newcastle Riverkings from the Manchester Storm last season. And this guy, unlike Hilton Ruggles, you want to see his stick blade, it's just a wee little short one, yet the guy possesses such a huge slap shot. The Johnson brothers have a tremendous telepathy with one another.
Couldn't quite get the goal, Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson without a goal in Super League this season, so close to getting his first there, working hard out there with his brother once again. And Mike Bonachuk, this is Dale Jago, offside.
Dale Jago signing by the Newcastle Riverkings from the Manchester Storm last season. And this guy, unlike Hilton Ruggles, you want to see his stick blade, it's just a wee little short one, yet the guy possesses such a huge slap shot. The Johnson brothers have a tremendous telepathy with one another. They play together for years, and they bring out the best. Talk about guys that can keep the puck deep. These two fellas are 2 of the best at it, and they used to have a lot of success in early years moving that puck around and making sure that it comes out front at the right time.
They come from a hockey family. Their elder brother, their father played, and they started off at Durham, then went down to Humberside. They came back up here as Simeone goes away! Simeone! You can't stop the guy scoring. He left it late in this one, 16 seconds to go, but Mario, Super Mario, keeps up his streak, 9 games in a row.
Well, that guy is so hot on the puck. Good job here by McIntyre. Defensive lapse by the Newcastle Riverkings. He's left to go in all alone. Nobody, as a winger, has got the man Simeone in that particular chance. He's going to make no mistake. Cowley way out too to cut that angle down, but this guy, he's a sharpshooter.
Well, we started with a Moria goal, which Simeone didn't get an assist on, but probably will once it's all sorted out because he deserved it, with McIntyre getting the assist. That was on the 2nd shift of the game, and on the last shift of the game, they've got another one. Moria and McIntyre assist this time for Simeone's goal. We ended as we started, and it really was the Devils as far as the scoring was concerned, but they were given a hard game. Paul Heavey knows that, although they've won comfortably. The shots on goal will be pretty close at the end of it all, and the Newcastle Riverkings somehow have managed to lose 6 goals to 1 at home. Alex Dampier obviously will be disappointed about that, especially having lost the last game 5-1 against the Sheffield Steelers, his former club. And the Cardiff Devils happy with this road win here. Another win in the Newcastle Arena. They have such a great record here. for Simeone's goal. We ended as we started, and it really was the Devils as far as the scoring was concerned, but they were given a hard game. Paul Heavey knows that, although they've won comfortably. The shots on goal will be pretty close at the end of it all, and the Newcastle Riverkings somehow have managed to lose 6-1 at home. Alex Dampier obviously will be disappointed about that, especially having lost the last game 5-1 against the Sheffield Steelers, his former club. And the Cardiff Devils happy with this road win here. Another win in the Newcastle Arena. They have such a great record here.
Well, the Cardiff Devils, they just keep on rolling, and that's what they need, because as we said, this is a very difficult time in terms of their scheduling, and they've got to try and keep that momentum going, and what a better way to go into Christmas with a big win.
Let's go down and talk to the winning coach. Paul Heavey is with Nick Rothwell.
Paul, you keep the heat on Manchester anyway.
Yeah, we're only 1 point behind now, so we really had to get that win tonight, and we're sneaking up behind them, that's for sure.
These valuable road wins are what it takes to win championships.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you don't play particularly well. I mean, that's one of our worst games for a while. I don't want to be too hard on our guys, but I've got to give a lot of credit to Newcastle. They hustled and bustled, and it's never a 6-1 scoreline, never. I mean, when I got to 3-1, 4-1, their heads went down a wee bit, and we got a few late goals, but they're having a few bad breaks, Newcastle. I mean, they worked really hard. I mean, Halossi came up with some real big saves to keep us in the game, and we'll take it. We managed to get through it. We got the points, and the score flattered us, but we're still there.
The Cardiff Devils seem to have a great aura of confidence around them. Your eyes firmly focused on the league title. Wins are what it takes to win championships.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you don't play particularly well. I mean, that's one of our worst games for a while. I don't want to be too hard on our guys, but I've got to give a lot of credit to Newcastle. They hustled and bustled, and it's never a 6-1 scoreline, never. I mean, when I got to 3-1, 4-1, their heads went down a wee bit, and we got a few late goals, but they're having a few bad breaks, Newcastle. I mean, they worked really hard. I mean, Halossi came up with some real big saves to keep us in the game, and we'll take it. We managed to get through it. We got the points, and the score flattered us, but we're still there.
The Cardiff Devils seem to have a great aura of confidence around them. Your eyes firmly focused on the league title.
Sure, that's our main goal. There's no doubt about it. That's our objective. We said that right at the start of the season, and after going out to B&H, and we're firmly focused on it. That just gets us one wee step closer to Manchester. But there's a long way to go. There's so many real tough games coming up. One slip up, 2 slip ups, and you can be punished. So. No, we're happy. We came on the road, we get 2 points, and as I say, I feel really sorry for Newcastle. I think it's a similar game last week. They worked hard and they're just not getting the breaks, but we'll take the breaks.
Well done, Paul. Congratulations.
Cheers, thanks.
So the road victory for Cardiff means they are now within 1 point of the leaders Manchester Storm in the Super League table, and Newcastle Riverkings down there still in 7th place. Incidentally, Cardiff out shooting Newcastle 14-7 in that last period. But Angelo Catanaro, I suppose Paul Heavey expressing the thoughts of many people that probably wasn't a 6-1 game.
No, I don't think so, but like he said, it's a night where maybe Cardiff wasn't on the top of their game, but as I said before, you give them an opportunity and they score the goals, and as that was shown here, even in the third period, the second half of the game, more or less, they got one chance and they buried them. And Newcastle, give them credit, like Paul says, I thought they played a hard game. They played and looked like they were hungry for a win, and unfortunately that's just the way the game went.
What do you think that Alex Dampier will be able to take out of this game then? A couple of silly mistakes for a couple of the goals. Newcastle 14-7 in that last period. But Angelo Catanaro, I suppose Paul Heavey expressing the thoughts of many people that probably wasn't a 6-1 game.
No, I don't think so, but like he said, it's a night where maybe Cardiff wasn't on the top of their game, but as I said before, you give them an opportunity and they score the goals, and as that was shown here, even in the third period, the second half of the game, more or less, they got one chance and they buried them. And Newcastle, give them credit, like Paul says, I thought they played a hard game. They played and looked like they were hungry for a win, and unfortunately that's just the way the game went.
What do you think that Alex Dampier will be able to take out of this game then? A couple of silly mistakes for a couple of the goals in the last period there, but overall not too bad.
No, I think you got to build on stuff, even though you can't say there's not too much positive out of out of a loss, but he's got to take a positive thing out of that, is that they did work hard. They did create, I thought, some pretty good opportunities offensively. Maybe a few breakdowns defensively, you know, but defense, you know, you can work on that, and you can, you know, you can correct those things. Offensively, if you're not scoring, you know, that's another thing. It's just a natural thing to score goals, and like I said, Cardiff's on a roll, and he gave him a chance to score, and they got one. Simeone goal too at the end. You know, that's all Mario needs, is something like that, and it's in the net.
Well, Cardiff could go into the lead in Super League our next game. That is next Thursday. That's New Year's Eve. That's on Sky Sports 2. Just to confirm, New Year's Eve, 4 p.m. A face-off for that on Sky Sports 2. The Cardiff Devils against the Bracknell Bees.